drum roll.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Original Culture Festival!
Original Culture Festival, people. Round one is to me. You've had to call the Avengers.
Okay. No.
Yeah? Admittedly.
No.
I'll
see your call the Avengers and admit to me.
Yeah?
Bro, bring your best three DJs, yeah? An individual genre of each of them, and I'll clash each of them.
I'll clash each of them. I'm not bringing my best three DJs.
Me one will go against your three DJs. So it's not called the three big three. Fuck the big three, it's just big me.
And I'm thinking, but he's going to get better.
Yeah.
He's going to get better. We've got this event to do and he's going to get better and he's going to get better. And he didn't get better. And then they told us that he wasn't going to make a recovery and that we had to come and say goodbye.
Spanner in the works, back to the works. Them man are like you're too much on the track, them flows are bloody berserk. Spanner in the works, go hard till it hurts. How many man do you know who can drop 1 million flows on a verse?
Right, before we kick off today's episode of Spanner in the Works podcast, we would like to give a massive shout out to our sponsor, W2 Barbers in Leeds. So whether you're after a classic cut, something a little more edgy, W2 is the place for you. They specialise in everything from a trim, a shape up, trendy styles, all done with precision and care. It's located in the LSA area of Leeds. W2 Barbers isn't just your typical barbershop. It's a hub for the community where people of all ages, young and old, are welcome in a friendly environment. They pride themselves on offering quality at local prices with special concessions for senior citizens. What really sets them apart is that they do foster a community spirit within their neighbourhood, heavily involved in a men's charity. So whether you're just in the area, dropping off the kids at school, or you're popping on your lunch break from work, wherever it might be, W2 is definitely an extension of your community up there in LS8 Leeds. Trustworthy, reliable, always delivering the best around. If you want to just look fresh, go give them a shout. Description down below, you can see all of their links. Big shout to Richard, who is the owner of W2 Barbers. Spanner in the Works is going to be up there to join you and the men's hub very, very shortly. Thank you for sponsoring the episode. And with that in mind, let's get on with it. Welcome to episode 4 of Spanner in the Works podcast. It's your boy Tiz.
Your boy Sonny Black.
Yeah, what's going on, people? We're back. How you doing, bro?
Back once again with the Renegade. I'm good, my bro.
D4 Damager.
I'm good.
Out to the people. Yeah.
Busy day. I was going to say tired, but every time we have an episode, you're like, you're so tired.
Every episode. Yeah. Every single episode.
Out of the door, 8 a.m., straight at 6 o'clock, walked out, straight into this room, 6 p.m.
I overslept today, man. I didn't wake up till 11:45.
That's what happens when you become a 25-year-old TikTok sensation.
I'm not a 25-year-old
25-year-old TikTok sensation.
Man's got 73 followers. I'm hardly a sensation.
25-year-old.
Hardly a sensation.
He was like, guess my age. And everyone's guessing his age. I saw 27,
to be fair,
35. I was happy for you.
Good lighting,
you do, no, but you do have to like dumb it down.
How old are you?
We'll get to that.
Hang on. They've spoken now. You might as well introduce the guests.
Straight away. Yeah, let's introduce them. Yeah, why not, man? Why not? So listen, they've spoken. You're supposed to be quiet, but you know what?
You're supposed to be quiet, guests.
They threw the first spanner in the works. So look, we are going to cover off a few things from the last episode, but you know what? Let's do it, man, because I've waited ages to do this. And I said, like, before the camera started rolling, it's great when you envisage something in your mind and then you look and it's there. Like, that shows that, like, you know what I mean? You're moving in the right direction and you're doing the right thing. So these are only our second guests on Spanner in the Works podcast, but me and Sunny being Sunny, we're smart like that. They will also be our fourth guests. Yeah, you see what we did there?
Okay.
So, second guests. There's 3 of them today. I would describe them as entrepreneurial. Very much like something that, you know, me and women and feminism and all that. Yeah, strong women. Yeah, I love that. A brand that has become synonymous with our town. And I have to say, something that's very, very close to my heart. We spoke about them in great detail on the last episode. It all came about because of the vision of one great man, which we will touch on today. So without further ado, Spanner in the Works podcast. Let's do the drum roll.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Original Culture Festival!
Original Culture Festival, people. Or the people that run it, should we say?
Well, it's them. That's the, yeah, but yeah, the festival's all of us. Welcome. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you here, man. It's like, yeah, like I said, it's something I'd thought about, and obviously
we spoke about it a long time ago, and it's all here. It's come to fruition.
How long ago was the festival? It was 2 weeks tomorrow, isn't it? So 2 months ago tomorrow.
Is it
long? Mid of August.
Yeah, 17th of August it was.
Yeah.
I think we left it too long.
Oh, of course you do. So, we're going to come back to our guests, obviously, because that's why they're here. But before we do, me and you've probably got a couple of things that we need to touch on since the last episode. So,
episode 3.
What happened after that? It went mad, didn't it?
Yeah, we got told that we were wrong in certain things. We got told we were right in certain things. had a few racist comments.
I've got something to tell you about one of them guys as well, but we'll get,
Yeah, just overall subjective perspective. Is that a good word?
Easy, Sonny.
Sonny's
Sonny's vocab is up in,
I've
man.
been hanging around with Warren too
thing
long.
was-
Yeah.
For real.
That's something like he would say. Oh God, I've just made myself sick in my mouth.
Oh God.
That's well dramatic, isn't it? Oh, I see where this is going.
Right, so yeah, episode 3 was
He's
mad.
about to get bullied.
Yeah, it is.
We spoke about racism.
Yeah, so just quickly before, because I don't want to get hung up on it, but you know those guys there's this one guy, he keeps posting these reels where he goes to like detention centres and starts goading the security and all them, and like he's basically a dickhead, yeah, that's getting like clout off the back of it. He's an idiot. So I thought, all right, you know me, social media, let me go. Thinking he ain't coming back, and he come back to me. So me and him he wants to debate with me. I said, have you watched the podcast? And he went, I don't need to watch your podcast. All right, bruv, no worries, man. Cool. So I'll remember his name. I'll link it in the comment. Link it in the description of this as well. Yeah. But yeah, me and him. And now I'm a TikTok star. He can. I'm not.
How long have you been a TikTok
We'll
star?
get back to that. No, let's stay on the episode. So subscriptions, they've gone up a little bit, but we still need people obviously to get behind
please,
it.
man.
The algorithm is the algorithm. But
Subscribe. What do they say?
like, subscribe,
Yeah,
mash the notification bell.
share.
Like, subscribe,
Share.
and do all the other stuff you do
Share,
for the other people.
share.
Do you know what? Just a quick thing on it. We'll move on from that. It was great. But two things. We definitely sparked a lot of debate, which we always do. Although it was nice this time to be on the right side of the debate. I had people, yeah, we're behind you, Tiz, whereas the previous episode, it was like, yeah, fuck that guy. And the thing I did notice, and I'll mention this later when we're talking about the festival, bro, I don't know what it's like to be famous. I don't fucking want to be famous. I don't care about fame. Just give me money and
You've been famous for about
appreciation
15
for
years.
what I do. No, but that's what I'm saying. When I went to the festival, the amount of people that came up to me and were like, yo, man, I watched your podcast, yeah? You man was sick, man. Sonny's sick, you man are sick. One woman come up to me, I have no idea. I sort of knew she was, but I ain't seen her in years. She went, Warren, do you remember me? And I was like, yeah. Memory bank's going. Who is she? Figured out who she was. She's like, I made the kids sit down and watch it. I made the kids sit down and listen to what you're saying. And you might think that's an ego thing, and it is. Of course it is. It's me.
Who was she?
She was a friend, the wife of a friend. So one of my friends.
Okay.
You know, I won't say their names on here. We don't. But she was a wife of one of my friends' friends, kind of that sort of thing. She knew me more than I knew her. But the point I'm making is, it was like to have people come up to you and go, you know, what you're saying is impactful. That's nice, man. It was a nice feeling. It was more of it was the feeling was I felt proud rather than big-headed, which is
That's the nice bit. I've got the ones where you just sitting with Mandem and then you're saying, just talking normal conversation, and then one of them would say, yeah, see your podcast, by the way. Just randomly. And then you say, oh, cheers, bruv. Nothing
You don't get
positive,
nothing more out of it.
Nothing to like say, oh, well done, bruv. Or it's like,
Yeah, I bet they're not sharing it though.
and the first thing I said is, did you subscribe? What?
I see the subscriber list.
What?
Do you want
What do you mean subscribe?
Do you want to
Do
know
you know
what
what
percentage
one
of
of them said
Bedford
to me?
subscribers are?
Do you know what one of them said to me?
Go on.
How much does it cost to subscribe? I said, don't worry about it. We don't need your subscription.
Don't listen to that. We need everyone's subscription, yeah? The more the merrier. We don't care. No bots, though.
No, but you see how it is. Like people,
Yeah.
random people that you don't know or you haven't seen for a while come up to you and congratulate you and say, well done, we watch your podcast, we get other people to watch it. And the people that you sit, talk, chill with.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them people that say, yo, I've got a podcast, so you watch it. I'm not like that. But then slowly man will say, oh yeah, I watched your podcast, by the way, the other day.
Yeah, but I've said a million times on that, right? The people that are next to you in your life before you decide to be a rapper, a singer, creator, whatever it is, yeah, they didn't sign up because you were a rapper, creator, or a singer. They're just your people, them. So I think sometimes the expectation that our people should support us is a little bit misguided. I'm not saying that haters don't exist.
I think we're going to get onto this conversation a little bit more
later. And people
later.
by you shouldn't help you out. But I think a lot of expectation gets put on those people around you when no one out in the real world that don't know you is interested. And I think that's where the line kind of gets blurred. But there is also a lot of people who will never follow you or be interested in what you're doing
But keep an eye on you.
until everybody else is. Because I promise you, if we hit 1 million views, yeah, every single motherfucker that has had a thing to say.
Swear jar, £1.
Cool. I know them, man. Yeah, them man and my boy there, Bedford, man.
Yes.
Yeah, me and Sonny,
Yes.
man. Me and Sonny.
We go way back, man.
Way back. Yeah, but not way back when we had 1,500 subscribers, you dickhead. Anyway, moving
on.
it from that. So, we got an announcement to make, right? We're at war. We are at war. So, it all started when I said that I'd duppy any Bedford DJ off his drop zone ting, blah, blah,
right.
blah. Warren's big mouth. Now, a couple of
We're talking about
announcements
drop
here.
zone.
We want to announce that when we wrap up this season of Spanner in the Works podcast, we're going to have a rap party. By the way, I found us a venue. It's not in Bedford either. Mwah.
You might as well call us out then, because no one travels out of Bedford in Bedford.
Well, if you keep the Bedford mentality, then maybe they won't. But you know, anyway. So we've decided we're going to have a rap party, and we're going to position it as a drop zone, boiler house type thing. But I'm pleased to announce you're getting fucking destroyed. TST versus Drop Zone, aka the Big Three, and then we'll see really who is the baddest. So we're not announcing DJs yet, but I've got a team in mind. You got a team in mind?
That's not how it works.
What do you mean?
This is the first spanner in the works.
Oh, here we go. It's not wrestling, but go on.
What do you mean team?
3 on 3.
You called us out.
And I'm bringing 2.
Why are you getting a team? It's not the fucking Avengers, bruv. What's this team? You called us out.
All right,
I've been waiting for this.
Oh,
mate.
he's been waiting.
You know, all that time, I read your script and everything. I was like, he hasn't. What do you mean? I can't wait. Right, talk to me, G.
Yo,
let's have it.
What you want to put? You want to put them all up against me?
You called us out. You didn't say I'm bringing the Avengers with me.
Okay, well I am.
Yeah.
Well I am.
No, but you can't.
I just can.
No, you can't.
I'm funding it. I'm funding it. It's my idea. I will do what I want.
Okay, cool.
And if you don't turn up, then you backed out. So which way you want it?
Bearing in mind, you said you will.
Yeah, all right, me and the sound temple. No,
drop zone
the sound
DJs.
temple. The sound temple will.
The sound temple's by himself.
Okay. I'm not called the sound temple. I have a name. I'm just telling you. What you saying? You don't want to do 3 on 3? What you
No, I'm happy to, but publicly admit.
All right.
Round 1 is to me. You've had to call the Avengers.
Okay. No.
Admittedly,
no. I'll see your call the Avengers and admit to me.
Yeah.
Bro, bring your best 3 DJs. Yeah. An individual genre of each of them, and I'll clash each of them. I'll clash each of them.
I'm not bringing my best 3 DJs.
Me one will go against your 3 DJs. So it's not called the 3 big 3. Fuck the big 3. It's just big me. I said it.
I said it. You called out the drop zone DJs,
and I'm saying it again.
You didn't say you were going to bring Timmy Magic and bloody DJ Spoonie and whoever else.
Timmy Magic.
Mikey B.
Yeah, none of that business. Your one self, Mr. Big Tiz, aka.
All right. Look,
said I'm going. No, I'm happy because it means I've won round 1 already.
And what have you
You've
won?
had to call for backup.
What have you won? Well, we ain't done it
just
yet.
the setup.
All right, look. Okay, listen. Let me reposition this. I actually think my idea has some merit to it.
Brilliant.
Like
I love it.
the 3 on 3 does have a level of merit.
I just want to prove a point.
That's cool. That's fine. And it makes for good entertainment.
DJs, my drop zone DJs.
Yeah,
it's happening already. You can bring EZ for all we care.
Yeah.
In it, Covey.
You got the bag.
In it, Harvey.
Can I say something about Covey?
In it, Jason.
Oh, so that's your team?
In it, Vibing Essentials.
You're not bringing 4.
In it.
You bring 4, man. Who says it's called 3 versus 3?
In it, Massey. In it, all of them.
What did you say, Massey?
Massey, yeah.
Yeah, he's sick DJ.
He's unbelievable, mate. I love him.
Bro,
I love him.
So this guy sat here and called out. He said, "I will duppy any of your drop zone."
I mean, I did say that.
You just mentioned bare of my people right there.
I did say
that. He said, "I." He didn't say,
that.
"I'm going to go and get Tom, Dick, and Harry to come and duppy them with me." So that either means you don't have the confidence in your own ability.
Okay.
Warren's got bare confidence in all of his ability.
Pause for a minute.
I'm just rubbing.
Can I just say?
I'm just rubbing
Massey is probably the only DJ that I know can actually scratch with vinyl.
In the mic, please, sis.
He's a proper DJ.
I did it. Has. He's a proper DJ. He's the only DJ that I know that can scratch with vinyl.
You can.
Massey.
He's unbelievable.
Have you heard him?
Yeah, but does he can scratch with vinyl, but you know on them videos, he's not using vinyl on them videos that he posts. He's using what's called a DVS.
I've known him for a long time.
No, I know
he can.
I know he can. But what I'm saying is, when you see him scratching on them videos, he's using, and I'm boosting him here, he uses something called DVS, which is effectively like a deck that's electronic.
Serato or something.
No, but it connects up, but it acts as a deck. And when you see him on it, it's like, bro, this guy is level.
I think he's too underrated. I think he needs to.
Well, I was speaking to his brother because me and his brother got quite a good relationship. Good. But we had these backwards and forwards like on voice notes all the time, and me and him had a long conversation about that, and just mass in general. But I think talent wise, as a DJ, he is head and shoulders above anybody like around us, and I hold my hands up. I'll never profess to be the technical guy. And just coming back to what you were saying, I have no fucking lack of confidence in my ability. Let me tell you that, yeah?
Absolutely.
And let me also tell you, yeah, that your people and all of your little closed crew,
listen, you're my people too,
I know, but let me just tell you, I kicked in the fucking door to sit at the table, yeah? Yeah, don't ever forget that, right?
100%.
Okay? And I will put my skills and my attributes up against anybody. Now, I call people out. It was tongue-in-cheek. Everyone's good as good.
We're having a banter, bro.
Hey, of course we are. But let me tell you, but make no mistake about it, bruv. When I come with this concept and idea, and when I reveal my DJs, you'll see where I'm coming from, because they ain't part of the closed shop either. Yeah, they're not part of the auction room Georgian Dragon, all that triangle. No, I'm not dissing that. I'm just saying. There's a.
Right. They are, innit? They are.
Yeah.
You called out
That's it.
Their drop zone DJs.
But what my intention was.
So what's your plan? You're going to bring how many DJs?
No. So my intention is simply this. This is what I think as a concept is a great idea. We want to have a rap party to celebrate this what we're achieving here, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I don't want to open it up to everybody who might come and stand. I want the people that attend it to be, people who are interested. Aforementioned guests sat here are the perfect example of that. An intimate location. 3 versus 3, hyped by you. I'm one of the DJs. I bring 2. You put 2 up. You're going to cover 6 or 7 genres throughout it. And then if you want to...
What, just 2 DJs? 3 in total?
3 in total. So 1 versus 1. So say you're Jason Bands versus
Are we choosing genres then?
No, you don't have to go genre for genre. So let me give you an example. And I'm going to
for example, if you've got a garage DJ...
No, you don't have to.
Then I'm going to bring a garage DJ.
Here's what I was thinking. You have Jason Bands who'll play, say, D&B. Yeah? My equivalent of Jason Bands, what I'm going to bring, because people ain't going to... People's attention spans and variety and all that. But again, this is not a party for the public. This is all about making something that's good for content. But Jason Bands versus Arbiz. Sean Harvey versus Harry Bizzle. Sam Covey versus me. D&B, jungle, house, garage, open format. And then you... Not Anna.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sounds interesting.
My idea. I've got a venue. We've got plenty of people around us that can make that
I
look
personally
sick.
think it should be in this town.
I partly agree with that, but then there's the other part of me that says, yeah, because it always is, isn't it? Always for me. Let me say, it's not about where. To be fair, it's not about the location. I've got a good connection with a group of people. They've got a really, really nice venue. I'll show you some pictures and I'll post them up in the description as well. And I was taking some photos and I went, fucking hell, the aesthetic of it. It's like all like open pipes in the ceilings and shit, like concrete floor, but then look industrial, but then looks like really plush, like around it. It's a good size. And they treat me really well. Like I don't want to reveal too much on air because it's still in talk.
We should get Original Culture Festival to back it.
That's my idea for it. I think it's got legs. But it's not about. It's about celebrating the podcast, but I think it's also about creating some really, really good content. You imagine that. that filmed well.
Yeah, it'll be
cut
good
down into.
From the day we said it was gonna.
And we can hype
I'm
that.
glad it's happening.
And we can hype that. People like competition.
Only problem is, I have to check my DJ's availability and are they getting paid for this night?
Of course they are. If anyone deals with the sound,
come on, let's go.
You get paid, bruv. You get paid.
Let's go. DJs, you're getting paid to have fun and get pissed.
This is enterprise, not charity.
Right, we're on then. So back to the guests, my brother.
Enough of me and you. Drop zones come in. A couple things though. I don't even get into like what's going on in the world because it's crazy. We could do a whole podcast about that.
That's another podcast.
We probably will. But
no Diddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not even get into that.
Yeah, we'll be all
night.
We'll come later. We'll come later with that. So look, we're doing this podcast because we've got some esteemed invited guests. So we introduced them obviously already, but it's great to have you guys on.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Original Culture Festival.
Yes.
AKA Josie, Fiona, and Blaze.
Hello.
How are we?
Yeah, good.
Yeah?
Good, yeah.
Go on, Sonny. I swear you had a question that you was out there.
I did, but it's all gone everywhere now, isn't
it? It all goes out the window, yeah. Live TV, although it's not live. Now let me kick off. So obviously, a lot of people that will watch this podcast will be aware of Original Culture Festival. A lot of people will have kind of been to it. Where does your lot's, obviously that's your son, but where does your lot's relationship start? Do you guys have a relationship prior to the festival, or do you guys plan the festival and then come together? So just take us back. Tell us a bit individually. Tell us a bit about like your stories.
And your involvement in Culture Festival.
I had a relationship with Rhino, but he was a very good friend of mine for.
Are you happy with that relationship?
100%. Yeah, Rowan had a lot of. He's Rowan to me. He was Rhino to everybody else.
I call him Rowan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I call him both.
So,
depending. Yeah.
Hold it really close.
Yeah. So Rowan had a lot of female friends. He got on very well with women. He's one of his best friends is his sister Sophia. Was his sister Sophia. And he had a lot of female friends, and Josie was one of them. And quite often, I'm just popping around to Josie. I've got some CDs for her, I've got cream for her, whatever. So yeah, that's. So
your relationship with him, where does that start?
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I think it started off 15 years ago through Sophia. Through Sophia.
So just for background, did you own Bar Soviet?
I didn't own Bar Soviet.
You ran it.
No, I ran it.
You were you were definitely the face of it. Yeah,
face of Bar Soviet. God, we're talking over 25.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And
we're talking over 25 years ago.
The guy with the leg.
Double your dollars on a Thursday night.
bad leg out. No,
The
who's
guy
that?
who's manager. He used to have a bad leg
basically he took over after
you.
Bar Soviet, was sold.
So is that how you guys, you and Rowan then link? What? Because he's in.
Yeah, I
he's
think through
playing
then.
out.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, probably playing out. Yeah,
Okay.
Probably over 25 years.
That's mad.
And being a good friend, come over chats and things like that, and obviously going to his events. And he was always like, if I was feeling low, I'd, give him shoulders to cry on without a doubt. He used to make me laugh so much. Honestly, he was the funniest guy you could ever meet. Like literally,
And stubborn.
yeah.
Stubborn. Mm-hmm.
And he put on such an amazing, obviously, his events and stuff like that. So he approached me about 3 years ago where I was going through, a bit of a bad, low emotional time. And he had this idea about he wanted to do a festival. Obviously, bearing in mind that I used to run bars and clubs and things like that, he goes, do you want to come in and help? And I was like, he goes, I think it'll be good for you and so forth. I was like, yeah, 100%. So I started off from there, really. It was three of us. And we obviously planning the first event and so forth, back and forwards with venues and stuff like that.
Because it was originally at Bedford Town, the first one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I remember, because I'll tell you where I come into that, but I want you guys to speak, not make it about me. But yeah, I remember that.
Originally there.
Bedford Town, but yeah, I remember.
And basically spanner in the works with the
there literally was a spanner in the works for sure.
And we had to find another venue quick time, so the Sharnbrook Hotel came to the rescue.
That was after Rowan had got sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
because I remember the timeline. I remember the timeline well, man.
Obviously COVID times and so forth.
It was 2021. So 2020 we'd already lost Rowan's dad to COVID.
Oh no way! Did I know
literally
that? No, I think I did, because I think me and you've probably had conversations on the phone.
So literally 1 year before, we'd lost his dad, and then obviously 2021 comes around. He's working with Josie and another friend, and I mean, it was something that he'd been planning on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying. I said I remember the timeline, but now I'm trying to piece it in my mind, because So my relationship with Rowan was different to you guys. I knew him. There's been various guises of me over the years in Bedford, and I probably upset a lot of people who have a perception of me and whatever, but he was never that guy, but we knew each other. Mm-hmm. And where our relationship developed, interesting, was online. He knew who I was, I knew who he was, and I'd say things. And he was always somebody who I pick my battles wisely, and I would always, like, certain people would say things like confront, but me and him always had that kind of mutual respect for each other. And that's where mine and his relationship sort of started to develop. But he rang me. So when did he originally start planning the festival? In 2020, after his dad had passed away?
So, no, in 2021.
Early 21, wasn't it?
Early 2021,
I remember sitting in the car park at Tesco's, it being a really overcast day, and in my mind, so we're talking February, March.
Yeah.
I remember he rang me.
Around that time.
He rang me, and I was like, okay.
But it was something that had been in the making for a long time for him.
Yeah.
He'd been bankrolling himself, running up to COVID, doing different events. He'd put on Channel 1 at Esquire's.
Before Original Culture Festival.
Before Original Culture Festival.
What was his event called again?
So Reggae Matters.
Reggae Matters
brand, which obviously we're still continuing with. And
my hairs have just stood up all over my body now. Just that one word, Reggae Matters.
And then Vintage Soul as well was something that he done with Dom C, another great DJ from around here. And musically, he was a visionary. Like, he had such a passion for music. Such a passion for music.
And that's why I always used to have that respect for him online.
Yeah.
Like, he would teach me stuff. He would say something, right? And I'd be like, nah. And I'd want to go, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah, I mean, his knowledge.
He told me he was the first person to tell me that Little Dirk was in his 30s. And I was like, I was ready. I was like, yes, I finally got him on something. Right, Little Dirk is in his 30s.
Yeah.
Mate. And I'm a hip hop. But that's just kind of like what he was like, man. It was.
Yeah. I mean, he literally, where music was across the genres, like, his knowledge was just next level. It was ridiculous. And I'm talking not just in sort of our 30 odd years of being alive up until the point when we lost him, but way before then, like, because he'd had such an incredible musical education from his parents.
I was about to ask that. You jumped ahead.
His mum is a huge reggae fan.
Okay.
Obviously coming from Jamaica, I think it comes part and parcel. But his dad, we all say about Roy. Roy was the soul man. Roy loved soul music, loved house music. And then he had the influence of Sophia, his sister, Sophia Soul. So everything that she was listening to, then he was listening to as he was getting older, because he was a few years behind her. So yeah, his musical education was vast and for a lot of years, and his knowledge on it, because he was so passionate, was just next level.
Yeah, mate. I know that from conversations. I remember he was one of the early men jumping on doing lives on Facebook when people cared about Facebook.
Yeah, in 2020.
Yeah, he was jumping on and doing lives, and I always have to say, and I'm not, again, my relationship it's really strange, because I knew him, we spoke, we always, have these kind of conversations online. But literally from that phone call when he rang me that day, like that was when me and him, like, that was almost like all that online stuff, the penny just dropped with me. I was like, yeah, this is my guy. And I remember that was when I've DJed for a while, but I was still doing the community centre wedding things and that. And I remember having conversations with him, long voice note backwards and, it's going to be not just a voice note, it's a podcast. Before this was a podcast, we'd have backwards and forward voice note conversations about stuff, and like he would tell me things like, and I'd be like, yeah, do you know what? And I'm not afraid to say it. We give people their flowers left, right, and centre. But I've said this to you a million times. Like, he definitely inspired me as a DJ, which in turn has definitely inspired me as a person. But the point I'm making here with that, try not to cry actually. Imagine that. That'll make good clips. But for someone to have an impact on me in such a short period of time, when we both share that absolute undying passion for the same thing, that's what really kind of resonated massively with me. And then when I look at, and again, I'm not making it about me, I'm just contextualizing it with this, because he's impacted yet another person in a great way. When I look at just the fact we're sitting here now, I can categorically tell you, we don't sit here and do this with a lot of webs coming off it if he doesn't ring me and make that phone call to me that day. And he made that phone call to me that day because when I was doing radio, very few people watched in locally, couple across the UK. We used to have viewers in random places, like, wherever. He'd listen to that radio show and he'd hit me up. So without that conversation, none of this happened, man. And that's, again, just testament to his
big up Rowan, Rhino Selector, man.
His incredible, like, just impact on people from right across the board.
Yeah.
So we're timeline wise, we're 2021. You guys are grafting like super hard to get this festival going. You got us on board with Bedford Town. So in the beginning, it's him that's making those links with the artist, is it?
Yeah. At this point, I wasn't even involved. I was wife at home.
Yeah.
So I'd be flyering events and things that he did.
So it was his relationships with like Mike Skinner and all of them. That's
him.
Who was the first people that arranged this? Was it you, Josie, and
another friend and Rowan? Yeah,
Rhino,
so just the three
another
of them.
friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they obviously started it, and then when Rowan got sick, was all around the time that the first spanner in the works happened with the football ground. And
it all happened really quick, didn't it?
Gosh.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was all happening while he was in his sick bed, and he was getting more and more stressed with it, and which was really hard to watch. And there was times when I had to say to him, "Babe, you need to just turn off the phone because you need to just concentrate on getting better." And so he was at home for 5 days with COVID, and
take a minute, man. It's cool.
Then it just got to the point where he was like, I need to go to hospital. So so I obviously phoned the ambulance, and they came out and they checked him over, and at that point his oxygen levels weren't really a problem, it was everything else. And so he got taken into hospital. And then while this is all going on, everything's still being pushed ahead with the festival. And at this point, I'm coming into meetings and I'm going, we need to make sure this happens. Like, stuff's got to happen.
So you're
still.
like, you said there's a reluctance on two fronts. This is not what you signed up for from that point of view. And you've also got your partner who's
100%
seriously ill.
But
and you're having to deal with both of them.
The two things simultaneously, and everything else that goes with that. We've got a little daughter together,
of course, man.
he's Blaze's stepdad, but he's been there since Blaze was 4 years old. So that's Blaze's dad. And so I've got the kids, I've got his family that are obviously very upset, still grieving for their dad, and his mum's still grieving for her husband. So all of this is going on, and I'm thinking, but he's going to get better.
Yeah.
He's going to get better. We've got this event to do,
Yeah.
and he's going to get better, and he's going to get better.
Yeah.
And he didn't get better. And then, and he was in hospital for 11 days. And then they told us that he wasn't going to make a recovery and that we had to come and say goodbye. So,
I couldn't imagine, man.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
I remember when, like, just to kind of give an empathy part of it, but yeah, that is something you never forget. I remember that with my mum, that, you know, because even then it don't feel real. What do you mean? Like,
yeah.
Especially like people passing from COVID. Because
Yeah.
at one point it was like,
so surreal.
yeah, people.
Yeah. No, because, and I think
people
you had
didn't
so
think it
much
was real.
misinformation and
Misinformation.
People, it was all like, so, and nothing felt real.
No.
Especially at that age. How
He
old
was only
was he?
37.
37.
37 years old. And I mean, the hospital said to us, and I don't want to go into the whole COVID thing too much because
No.
we could be here all night,
All
but
night.
literally all night.
Was he?
He was a man, he was black, and he was overweight. And those were the three things they said when we asked them, what's the roadmap out of here? Those three things go against him. So there
Was he
really
vaccinated?
No. But that's another story.
That's
that
another-
I-
Yeah, that's
I-
another
I
story.
No, that's
won't-
another story. And do you know what? A couple of things that really like.
Because on both spectrums, people are like, oh, people
Yeah,
make their,
I
make their
don't
own
wanna
minds
make-
up.
I don't wanna-
We
I
don't
don't
want to
wanna-
go
yeah.
there.
I don't
can't
I don't want to
go
make this
there.
a vaccine.
But,
Yeah, this
but
is
it
No.
works on both.
Yeah,
ends,
this isn't a vaccine.
No,
like,
no, I
conversation.
understand,
Me and
understand.
you tried to have a conversation on a live, and as soon as you bring it, someone jumps in, and so that's not where I'm going with
I
this.
understand, brother, but I want to talk on both sides. I know a gentleman
When you say you go,
who
I know, I've
had
seen my bit.
3 members of his family pass away, and I don't know if they were vaccinated or not.
What, from COVID? They passed away from COVID?
From COVID.
During
yeah.
the pandemic?
During the
because the
pandemic.
vaccine didn't come, the vaccine, like around the vaccine was on its way, but
Yeah.
no, the people.
But like I said, I don't want to talk about the vaccine.
Yeah, it's not about
The
vaccine.
thing is, we lost a husband, a father, a friend, and that's what we're here today
But
and
going
talk
back-
about what
Yeah.
these guys do.
But going back to what you were saying,
in
though,
memory
no,
of Warren,
but going back to what you were saying about
of
the
Rowan.
hospital thing, like, so just explain that a bit more. So what I'm trying to understand. So they're saying because he was a black male,
The only-
overweight, that they basically they wrote him off.
In 2021, so bearing in mind we've been going through this a whole year.
Yeah.
Well, a year and a half, effectively, because it was August. They still, at that point, didn't know what the hell they were doing. And
They
the
didn't know.
consultants came into
No,
the
they
room
didn't.
and effectively said as much. So when we said, so what's the roadmap out of here? They just kind
They
of
just
looked at
didn't.
us.
They just didn't know.
They shrugged their shoulders and they said, with, to be perfectly honest, he's got all 3 things against him. The 3 things we know about COVID: it affects men, it affects people of colour, and it affects people that are overweight. And he had all 3 things against him.
But were they coming from the point of view of their mindset is we don't know what's going on, but we know that, so it's
But we
just
know that.
almost dismissive. Because I heard a lot of things like that, not just with that particular black and male, but the old people thing. They were literally sending old people into care homes to die. You know what I mean? And like we look back at that like anything, you never really appreciate what you're living in until long after the event. And certainly for you as a family and personally, that is fucking magnified in like by 1,000. But to hear you say that, having someone who's you were literally there, you heard that come from,
said it to us as a family.
That
we were all there. Me, his mum, his sisters, his auntie, his cousin.
Can I ask you a question?
Best
And
friends.
this is a speculation question, right? And it's hindsight, but just from that medical point of view, do you feel that Rowan's death was preventable? From like if we lived in better times, or
I feel like they could have done more. I feel like they could have done more.
That's what I meant by that.
It felt to me like they gave up on him. They came in and they told us that his organs were shutting down, and they gave up on him.
And do you know what? My anecdotal other side of that is really interesting. I remember, I can't tell you the exact dates or whatever, but I remember speaking to one of your partners within the team when you were organising, because obviously I was on board. Rowan got me on board, man. He brought me on. He was like, listen to the radio show. Can you come and rap? I'm like, Rowan, I don't rap no more, man. Yeah, but that tune you dropped sick, bro. Come. And then I end up host, which we'll get to that bit. But I remember speaking to him, to your other partner. He asked me to speak to Rowan. I spoke to him. And when you said there that he was getting lots of calls and he was stressed out, I remember him sounding very stressed. And he was like, bro, look, I'm not well, but I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about me, bro. I'm cool. I was just checking in. I'd heard you. I just wanted to check in with you. And then boom, it was like, just like that. And look, we don't know the ins and outs of what happened in the hospitals with COVID, and again, I'm speculating here. When someone's not well, there's varying degrees of it, but it just, I think the point I'm trying to make, it just seemed to be like so quick, and there's so many stories where that's replicated, and there is a feeling where you go, they just give up on people, and where does that fucking selection process come in? Oh, because it affects that group. All right, cool. So we already know to write them off, and
that's definitely how it felt.
Sorry to get sort of into that, but I think it's important to have that conversation. I think it's important to understand that, because I think that there will be other people that will see this, or and share that exact experience. And hearing you say it firsthand, you go, no, it's just crazy times. So obviously, Rowan. So go on.
Yeah, but I mean, from there, obviously, we lost him, and the festival was literally within
Fiona's like, within
days.
It was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. I remember where I was.
Yeah.
I was at a farm. I can't even remember what I was wearing. I was at a farm. I was wearing a pink t-shirt. It was a really hot summer's day, and
I remember as well. Yeah,
your other
Do
partner.
you remember his t-shirt?
no, I remember where I was. That phone call I got.
No, she was
I
petting the
remember.
alpacas, and she was like, Warren. No, my point, Naked. When you never forget where you were, and it was. I remember it was like I was sat on a bench, I was crying, and who come up to me? Someone come up to me and said, "You're right," and I was like sort of explained as best you could, kind of in that moment, in that situation, and I remember thinking, the festival's in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
can't be gone. What do you mean? You nah, bro. Your festival's in 2 weeks. So from your point of view, like, do you remember much about? I mean, you probably do, but do you also? But let me ask it another way. Do you look back on that time there, almost like it happened to someone else, or
it's like an out of body experience, 100%. He was the love of my life.
I remember when you two as a young love as well. Because do you remember me from MySpace?
Yeah.
We were early friends, because you were friends with one of my people's sisters.
Yeah.
And I remember you two getting.
MySpace,
you two getting together. What year did you get together?
Look,
Go on. Let me guess. Hang on. It's somewhere 06, 07.
2007.
There you go. 1 second. You know this. You know that.
2007. Yeah.
So I remember you that. Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but I had to tell you that, because I was like, I wonder if she remembers MySpace.
Yeah.
I've never asked you that.
Funny story. That's where me and Rowan got talking.
No. Wait. Literally, when I first met you on there.
How the hell are you not pulling on
when I
MySpace?
first met you. When I first
That
met.
was the first dating app. What are you talking
When I
about?
first met you on
it was
there.
meant for music.
When I first met you on there was the exact time, because I was living in Spain.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was the first time that I met her, and then I ended up getting married and divorced in that time. Life's funny, isn't it?
It's funny, isn't it?
Anyway, back to where we were. So he was the love of your life. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, we spent 14 years together. When you meet somebody and you just click and vibe, and he became one of my best friends. We were together, but he was one of my best friends. He was the person that his company, I'd sooner be in his company than anybody else's, and...
You mentioned his strong relationship with women, and that's really interesting to kind of hear you say that.
I mean, his respect for women, and I mean, there's probably some women in his much younger years that would disagree, but as he got older, for sure, I mean, the way he respected his mum, if you see the way he treated his sisters and his aunties and cousins and things like that, like he had very, very close relationships with them, and then, like I said, some of his best friends were female. And he just understood women a lot better than most men, and
don't forget he had a lot of strong women. Obviously,
a lot of strong women
you only
in
got
his
to know
family.
this later on once we met, but I've known Rowan from when he was 9, 10.
Yeah,
that long, really?
Yeah, we used to live down the road from each
recently.
other. So I call his mum ever since I've known her. I've always called. It's like if I met whoever's.
It's Kempston, isn't it?
Kempston,
Brought up in Kempston, yeah.
I used to live on Farrow Street, and he used to live off Cater Street, and literally through the alley, bang, and only he will remember this from high up in them skies. There, we used to have some mad, all about music. Everything was all about music. Our talk, our thing. But from seeing him growing up, Sophia, his mum, and his cousin Sam. The runner, the athlete, yeah.
Sam.
Oh,
Sam
mate,
love.
like from seeing how obviously he was with his family, I know his upbringing, and I know his family was tough, and we used to be scared to knock on his door and go and say, "Rowan, you coming out?" Because obviously they want to know what he's getting up to.
Yeah,
and
100%.
we never used to get up to any good. So 9 times out of 10, he wasn't allowed out with me.
Yeah.
So
his mum was very selective about his
very
friends.
selective.
Mm-hmm.
But once we got older, and obviously he knows what's right and wrong. Because remember, when you're 9, 10, 11, 12, you're easily influenced.
Of course.
But obviously, as you get older, he knows what's right and wrong. So he was allowed out a little bit more. And
Yeah.
we used to have some mad jokes when we were young, man. We used to do this thing, me and Rowan. Every time on my dead grand's grave, on all 4 of my kids, every time we used to see each other, the first thing we used to, like man shake hand, we used to see each other and we used to go, in a bucket, 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 go, ga. All the time, the full thing together. And if we could do the kid and play dance, I'm telling you, we would have done that at the same time as well.
Jeez.
That's what we used to do every time we used to meet each other, man.
Brilliant.
Yeah, mad. I'd never forget. But seeing him grow up from a child to a man, father, husband, and son, and like I've been fortunate enough to not have anyone in my family pass away at a young age, but I've had lots of friends pass away. Yeah, man, I can't imagine what his family and what you guys were going through. Every time I pass his house, it gives me the chills because I'm still a Kempston boy, still in the ends, walk around through the alleys if I need to get to places. But yeah, bless him. Rest in peace, Rhino Selector, aka Rowan. And big up to you guys for what you guys have done and what you continue to do in his name, yeah? So big up you guys. Big up.
And then, like, what I do want to know, though, because I remember seeing you at the festival. I remember rolling up.
What, the very first one?
The first one. I don't remember seeing you there that day.
I was running around,
You
that's
were-
right.
Listen,
around.
all three
That
of
was a
them, you've
blur.
literally been running around. But I remember seeing you that day, and I remember I couldn't get my head like how the hell you were even like. But do you think it helped? Do you think it helped?
It helped in seeing it actually happen because it had to happen. Like there was talk within days, you know, of losing him and the festival happening. There was talk of just saying, let's just let it go. And
Surely.
I said, absolutely not. We can't. This is his baby. Like he's dreamt of this for years.
There's no way you would.
He's put on, you know, he put on an outdoor, his first sort of taste of putting on an outdoor event. He did an outdoor reggae event in Luton at the Carnival Centre. And I mean, it was brilliant. Such a great day. The weather was amazing. You know, it was fantastic. Great sound systems there. And from then he was like, no, I want to do a big festival. I have to do a big festival. And he'd been saying it for such a long time. And like I said, when I say it was his baby, it was his baby. So I'm like, this is happening. It has to happen. So we need to find a new venue.
Okay.
So 2 months after we lost Rowan, on October the 29th, which is coming up, me and Rowan were due to get married at the Sharnbrook Hotel.
Okay.
So straight away, I thought to myself, let's ask Chiro if we can do it there. And
Well, do you know what? Right, I've got goosebumps there. Yeah, to like try and understand people and put myself in like to have that level of thought in that time. I believe that not everyone, no,
9 people out of 10 would have just
yeah,
said, nah.
and the 1 person out of 10 that does, that's the person that to me is what's the word I'm trying to great. And I mean as in greatness. Like to think like that in that scenario, and then think of the snowball effect. Because you imagine there's a sliding doors moment here where someone suggests to you, and quite rightly and understandably, you pull the plug.
yeah.
We saw his vision, like literally, it had to happen.
It meant doing it for him just meant so much. And I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were days after that where I literally didn't want to get out of bed. I just wanted the cover over my head and I wanted everybody to leave me alone. And the only thing that got me out of bed every day were my 2 kids. It was the only thing that got me out of bed. And then those days I was hyper focused and making sure that this happens, hyper focused in making sure at the time, bearing in mind, I'm coming up to my wedding date. So I'm having to cancel things for my wedding. I've had to have a conversation with Chiro about, I'm really sorry, but the wedding's obviously not going ahead, and feeling bad for him because he's losing out on a lot of money, cancelling everybody else in terms of the wedding. So I'm having to do that.
Yeah.
I'm having to go and get his death registered. I'm having to go and sort out a funeral and then kind of aid Josie and this other partner in making sure this festival happens. And yeah, I there's definitely lots of it where I look back and I just think to myself, I can't remember it. I can't remember getting up and doing stuff, but I know it happened because I did it and it happened. Yeah, so, and I remember turning up on the day of the festival, and there was a couple in the venue that had just got married on the day of the festival, and they were in the venue in their wedding gear, and me and his two best friends stood outside, obviously doing tickets and stamping hands and everything else. And it was not easy. It wasn't easy. And I thank the Lord for my kids, but for his two of his closest friends, Tim Thomas.
I knew you was going to say Tim.
Tim TNT Thomas.
Yeah. I don't know who you're going to say, but I'll let you do
and
it.
Jay Black,
Yeah, man.
Carl, like one person, three names. Breezy, he's Breezy to us, or Jay Black. His name's Carl, and Tim Thomas. Literally, and when I say literally, held me up. I mean literally held me up, because there were times where my knees buckled, and Tim literally held me up. So I stood with them on that day and was down at the front for a large proportion of that day. And I think at that point I needed to be away, and I needed them to just kind of get me through and joke through it and sort of keep me up. And then made my way back later on in the day into the event, and then kind of got the wind knocked out of me a little bit because Rowan's banner was up on the stage. And
You didn't know that was
I didn't know it was happening. This
really?
was-
I mean, that's become like when you talk about when I say icons, I mean this in every sense of the word. If ever I think of that, that's what I see.
The image,
and any great photo that comes from the stage.
Yeah.
And if you recall, I said on the last episode, the little clips out there, and he said, not everyone lives forever. Of course, not everyone lives forever in the physical sense. But I feel that what you lot have gone on to do, and you sitting here today and hearing you talk about that, like, that he lives forever, man. Like he lived in that set. Like his legacy will.
He has to.
Does.
Yeah.
He has to.
He does.
You know, not just for me. My children, my daughter, she was 8 years old when she lost her dad. She's 11 now. She'll be 12 in April. And the way she talks about her dad, you'd think he was still here.
Proud.
She is so proud of her dad. So, you know, and she'll recall things. I was literally walking out the door to come here, and she was like, Mum, do you remember when I used to do this in Daddy's car? There's things like that daily. You know, we have to keep his memory alive for her.
Man.
Have to.
Yeah, but I think what you've got now, I keep talking about snowballs, yeah? Like, even if tomorrow, and again, understandably and justifiably, you just said, I'm exhausted, and you stepped back out of it, yeah? There are so many people, like people that owe where they are. And I'm sorry to try, I'm not making this about me, but I am the host after all.
It's never about him with you lot.
You only got us for a short time.
It's not about me, but it's about. But say, I'm an example of that, and I'm going to say it again, so it is on the record. Yeah, I would not be sat here today without Rowan. In no way, shape, or form. Maybe a different version, but no.
I think he's helped a lot of people. I think he's helped a lot of
You
people
could
in
probably say
different
the same.
ways.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I can.
You know.
I think there's a number of DJs in this town that could probably say things like that.
Yes.
Even I mean, other people that would come and watch him every weekend. There's somebody in mind straight away that I can think of that every weekend was up in the DJ booth with him every single weekend.
Can you tell us?
He also pissed a lot of DJs off, may I add?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah.
Why? Why though? Why?
Because he was like us, bruv. He didn't give a
He
shit.
did ramp.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
just
Listen,
said it
this
how
is
it
one of the
was.
reasons why you two got on so well was because he was controversial as shit.
He would just say it how
So
it
are
is.
you.
That's how we are,
He would
bruv.
say it how it is. And he very much was like, and I mean, I'm quite very...
You're very,
Very
very,
Spiky is the word. I think the word they use the word spiky for
I'm a
us.
female version, shall we say. I don't mince my words. I really don't mince my words. And I am like Marmite, and I completely understand that. People don't like my honesty
This is
lot
why
of the
why
time.
we've got Blaze to keep.
Yeah. This
Can we
son of
introduce
mine-
Blaze,
Yeah,
please?
Absolutely.
Can
So-
we
introduce Blaze? Yeah.
He sat there very patiently.
Very
Yeah.
He is.
patiently.
He's the epitome of
And
patience.
that was the perfect kind of, God, you two look so much alike when you're sat together like that, like smiling. They're identical. That's mad. Yeah. So, yeah, tell us then. So, you kind of, we've listened to, should I call her your mum? It feels weird, like your mum, Fiona.
Yeah, well,
My daughter sat back here. She calls me Warren. So
I feel like I should go and get my kids, man.
you clap him up, and even that size, isn't it? So obviously, like, you know, your mum's talking about all of this. Like, What's all this like from your point of view when this is going on? And again, tell us about your relationship. I mean, I was brought up by my stepdad. I am a stepdad myself. Step parents are like super important, and in so many cases, like will always outstrip the biological donor. What's your relationship like with him, on a father-son level?
Yeah, so he always treated me as if I was his son. We'd go out, he'd say, "Yeah, this is my son." He always had that respect for my dad, where it wasn't like I don't call him dad. Like, he had that respect for that boundary, but he treated me like I was his own. So as I got older, when I got to 16, 17, we got a lot closer because now I was growing up and we could have more grown conversations, talk about topics that you can't talk about as a kid. We like proper had a bond. Like, even with the music thing, we'd share, like, it was sick because I could put him on stuff that like young people loved. So sometimes tunes would just drop and other DJs might not be playing it, but I've given him a tune that I know that the young people are loving. And then he'd put me on old school tunes because I love all type of music.
I just noticed your tattoo as well. Big up for that, my brother. Big up for that, man.
Yeah.
Go on. He's got Rhino on his arm.
Yeah, that was my first.
Show the camera.
First one. Yeah.
Go on.
So yeah, we were close. So sometimes that kind of is what hurts the most, because I know I just turned 18 when he passed, and how tight that bond was then. There's so many conversations now that I've missed out on that we would have had. Like, he wanted to do like an event for the youngsters. So when I was turning 18, he was like, "We're gonna do an event together, and I want you to go hard promoting it for like your circle of people and your age group in Bedford." So he was even gonna like do his best to bring me in on the
get you on
on the events thing, the music thing. So, and another thing that a lot of people say when I speak to them, I was even speaking to Jay Sim about it recently. He loved to put people on that are from Bedford, that were local, young, old, that were doing their thing. Jason was saying it recently. He said, sometimes I would have been in the club and he'd be playing my tunes. No other DJ was playing my tunes. So that's why I think it's been such a big thing for us to make sure that we have locals as well on the lineup. And we're giving Rowan his flowers, but Warren's obviously hosted two times in a row now. 3? All of them.
Ever present, man. Who else can say that? Vibe and Essentials, so solid.
Yeah, can we big up Vibe and Essentials,
Carlito? Don't you dare steal my thunder.
Bring the mic.
I'm sorry.
Bring the mic to you.
It is coming.
We've got to big up.
I've got a whole list. Wait, I've got a list. I've got a whole list. I do appreciate
we love you,
that.
Carlito.
And we'll get to that. But it ain't about me at this stage. But no, I do appreciate that. And that's how he brought me in. He said, "You're playing local guys on the radio. Can you come and like do that?" And it was original. No, that's wrong. He wanted me to rap because it was originally Love Local. It was
that's it.
It was KC's,
Local.
and the French man was supposed to host it. And surprise, he let you down. And who stepped in? I did.
But back to Blaze.
Yeah, go on, carry on, Blaze.
But yeah, so there's times like I'll find a new tune and you'll even forget for a split second. I'll go to text him, like, because that's what he would find a tune, send it to me, or I'd find one, just WhatsApp him or ring him, and I'll go to text him, and just that split second I'll forget. Times like that, that's when it hits you. But what I try and do now is just focus on the positive, what we're doing to keep his name alive. There's not a lot of people that, like you said, not a lot of people get to live on forever. And with what he's created and what we're carrying on, he is living forever. Like, it's a legacy. Like, I even think of grief sometimes. Obviously, grief can be ugly, but in a way, grief can be beautiful because we all had different relationships with him, you included, you, Sonny, included, but we all share a type of grief that allows us to show that love, come together and put on something like the festival, which is beautiful. Like,
I think the
100%.
very
You
first.
smashed that, man. Oh, do you know what? He
Yeah.
makes me like a proud.
I know,
feel
it's
like a
very-
proud
yeah.
uncle. You and I said to you, like,
He's
got
at
an
the
old
Culture
man's
Festival
heart,
as well,
hasn't
didn't
he?
I? I said,
Yeah.
well done, and you absolutely smashed. You are a good role model
You are.
for the
Thank you,
kids
bro.
out here.
Let's
son.
give you your
Thank
flowers
you.
while
Yeah.
you're here, man.
You're
For
an
real, bro.
absolutely
Swear that.
great role model for
I
the
have to
younger
say, that's
generation
like,
out here.
Hearing you speak like that is how I'm getting to get through this without barling. Is gonna be an absolute miracle.
Yeah.
So look, this is all about the festival. That's what we've kind of like and to now I tell that story, not that, but I tell a version of that story to everybody I come into contact with, right? So I've got a few questions about some of the festival because people want to know stuff, innit? Yeah. So,
Can I just say, but we haven't got past how we got to the second one or the.
well, I was gonna. That was my segue because the second one for me feels like. So
the first one was very like boutique-y
Yes.
type, bougie
So my
type.
question was, why did you come back for a second one? What makes you not go? Look, we've done it. We've done
Did
it.
you realise? Sorry, can I interrupt you? Did you realise who we had on the very first festival? Who came?
Yeah, let me see if I can remember the okay.
No, like
who
as
was
in
supposed
like
to be there. Or was
no,
there?
who like
Audience-wise.
as in audience-wise.
Well,
like
numbers.
it was so special. We had Maxi Priest, didn't we?
Maxi Priest was walking around in the audience at the
See,
first
I had to
festival.
leave the first one because of childcare. She wouldn't babysit past 7 o'clock for me.
Oh yeah, we had
That's
Maxi
not true.
Priest.
That's not true.
We
My
had
child was screaming.
yeah, Maxi
Sweetie
Priest,
Irie was
Sweetie
there.
Irie.
Well, who actually came?
They were at the
Came as a
event. They
guest.
didn't perform. They were just there.
Obviously with
Yeah, I
Basil,
left.
Basil,
Basil
aka
Willis.
Dread.
Basil,
Rest in
Dread,
peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know that it was the.
Yeah.
So okay, so then so you've done the first one. You didn't say right.
First
We're going
one.
to do we're going to do a second one.
No,
Now,
so first one, then we had to deal with a few things, didn't we? Personal stuff.
Yes, we had. So the other partner who was working with us, that sort of went off a different direction, and so it left just me and Josie as Original Culture Events Limited, and so yeah, it was just us. But 2023, where I think 2022. So where we
had to find a bigger ground, didn't we?
we had
wanna
to
go
find
bigger.
a bigger ground. Obviously, we couldn't do it at Cheeros again, but our grief was kicking our ass basically.
But it felt like it. But also from my point of view, from what I was, because I didn't deal with you. I dealt with you directly.
Yeah.
But I remember looking back on that and feeling like that was what was driving you.
Yeah,
100%.
Very
yeah,
much.
it was.
Even more so because the first one it's a different scenario. But I felt
Yeah.
that was you in the middle of it, and that was your vehicle to just.
The
and I-
second was a just completely different ball game to the
Completely-
first.
it's a monster
Completely.
in comparison.
How was the first one?
Because the first one was on a tens notice, so you've got 499 people.
Okay, which I have learnt recently.
You've learned
Yeah.
recently, yeah. So we knew we needed a bigger venue. We wanted more people.
So looking at grounds and
So
stuff.
looking at grounds, we'd been to a few different places, and then we decided on Priory Country Park. But then you have to get a license. Now, anybody that's had to try and get a license to put an
There.
event on
Yeah.
that size on council grounds will know just how difficult it is. It's not easy. I spent 6 to 7 months writing an event management plan, writing a sound management plan, and having it thrown back at
People
me.
don't realise how
Thrown back
deep
at me.
I was
this
just about to say that.
37
deep.
pages long.
I don't think we. Yeah, none of us
37
realised.
pages long is just my EMP, never mind the noise management plan and everything else. I'd never done any of this before. I'd not done promotions. I'd sat back. I'd gone out and I'd flyered at 2:00 in the morning with Rowan. I had gone and sat on doors and I'd taken ticket money, put wristbands on, all those things there. I'd been a sounding board when he needed to vent. I was the person that he'd be ranting at when he'd been out and DJ'd and the promoter had S'd out of the club and had not paid him, and he's getting up at 3:00 in the morning, putting his trainers on, and like, I'm going to find him because man needs to pay me. I've got to feed my family at the end of the day. And so I was the sounding board. I was that person. I heard bits, definitely heard bits. He would tell me, he'd vent to me. I'd never done promotions before in my life. So it was so wildly out of the box. I work in finance. I work in accounts. You know, it's so mad when I actually deep it like that. And then I'm writing this event management plan and I'm researching and I'm like, what do I need to include? Then I'm getting the purple guide off the council website and I'm like, okay, we need to look at that and that's got to be looked at. And what? We've got to look at that and that and that. And next thing, you've got a 37-page event management plan.
They proved it though.
And then it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The council obviously weren't happy about the noise side of it being a country park and residents and so on and so on. So they initially rejected it and we went to appeal.
one. On the
Also,
hill.
can we say
On the
big
hill.
up to
Big up.
Concept Events as well, Hayden?
Yeah, big up
We haven't
concept
got to
events.
that bit yet, but yeah. So, but yeah, so getting the license was a job in itself.
Jesus.
And then it got approved, which means we can have 4,999 people.
And no one else has held an event, haven't they, there
At
on
that
that
point,
ground?
nobody had held a music event at that place, or hadn't had an event at that place for over 10 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
'Cause okay.
Because of the rules and regulations.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Like, so you're obviously talking there about all of what goes on to make it happen. So
Yeah.
simple question, I guess. Do you enjoy the festivals themselves as events when you're there?
I didn't really enjoy 2022 because I was so stressed out. And those like 6 to 7 months where I was doing all the paperwork side of it, I was running on about 3 hours sleep every
Yeah,
night
no one, I don't think.
for
Yeah.
7 months. So my son will testify. It was
He
crazy.
held
Like
Is that why you took a
together.
break for a year as well?
that
He
that
held us
and my
together.
grief. I think my grief came up and just smacked me straight in the face in 2023. Yeah.
What's the
You obviously needed time to grieve.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had,
That's
yeah,
the thing. Like, I
100%.
think I
chucked yourself to the
pushed
deep end.
everything down. I was
Yeah.
like, I've got to make this work for Rowan. I've got to make this work for Rowan. I
Yeah, you
didn't
didn't
really
grieve.
grieve
No.
in the first couple of years properly.
Because since that first one, we were organising the second, weren't we?
Yeah,
we
it's
were to
straight into it.
organise.
That's the thing. When
You
you're
didn't-
doing them year on year,
It
there is
takes
no
a year
stopping.
planning.
It's
Yeah.
a year's
Big
planning.
events always say that's
It's a
like,
year's
the
planning.
second the Super Bowl's over, they're planning
Yeah.
the next year.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
second
yeah.
that
Yeah.
Glastonbury finishes, they're already planning
Yeah.
the next year. But it's incredible just to kind of hear that. You talk about 2022, which I think was incredible. There was a few things when I look back, and you guys probably have kind of maybe experienced this itself. Do you know what it felt like for me when I look back on it? When you look at the lineup, and this is going to make a bit more sense in a minute, 'cause I'm
Yeah.
going to give you like my 5 takeaways. I love this. But when I look back on 2022, and now I've got 2024 to compare it to, and now again with everything you've just said as well, understanding what it took to get to that. I mean that
Yeah.
lineup. If you go back and look at that lineup, it is fucking insane.
Who is the lineup?
Kenny Allstar, Turno, Deneo. Come and help me, Fiona.
We had the So Solid lot.
So
Solid.
DJ Hazard, So Solid.
Hazard.
It was in Nene. It was mad. Yeah, she was the first one. No, she was.
Not something
No, that
Bedford
was that
used to
one.
Yeah,
then, yeah?
but my point being is, but when I look back on it now with what I've now learned from this one, it feels, and again, this is hindsight, too many cooks spoilt the broth in terms of a spectacle on the stage.
100%.
And let me give you a quick example. Kenny Allstar's on at 4:30 in the afternoon, and the whole fucking place empties. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you got Kenny Allstar on the stage,
Yeah.
bruv. But I'm going to snake back at that.
We obviously had 40-degree heat as well, which
We had
kept
40-degree
everybody,
heat as well.
kept
40-degree
everybody
heat.
home.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away
Till
from
late.
what an incredible day it was.
Yeah.
And for me, would have been the pinnacle of certainly like what I've done until we get to 2024. So
Yeah, but for us, that event there. It was just we were just like a learning curve for us, wasn't it?
100%.
We
Like,
wasn't. I can't
and
remember
I think that
anything
comes
that
out
day.
in 2024. I think you see 2024.
Yeah, 2024 was
I'm
a
ruining my
different-
own takeaways. So I'm going to give you my five
Yeah,
my
different ball
5
game.
takeaways from Original Culture Festival 2024. And I'm not referring to the amount of chicken Georges that me and him consumed over the 2 days. we had a couple. Big shout out to Chicken George. So my first takeaway, and I'll keep this as brief, but
We have
I
that
think you'll
fan
like
on.
this. So the first thing that struck me is that overall, Bedford, yes, I'm saying this, get ready, Bedford absolutely shone. Like Vibe Essentials, JSIM, GHR.
100%.
We'll get to me. But everywhere, I saw love, old faces. It felt like everybody was someone important within our community, whether they did music or not. And from a musical standpoint, which to me is really important, if you're going to be up there with pros, yeah, what I took away from the day is there was a distinct difference in the passion between us lot and those that were kind of doing it as a job. Not all, and I'll get to it in a minute. I exclude Mo Stack from that, by the way. I'll get to him in a minute because I think he was amazing and changed everything. So my first takeaway is that Bedford absolutely shone.
Yep.
2 stages has a drawback for me.
Yep.
I think that the way it is, in terms of the way it flows, sometimes you kind of force the crowd to split. And what highlighted that for me was the Dawn Penn incident.
Oh.
So just for those
Yeah.
that don't know, Dawn Penn was supposed to be on the smaller stage, didn't want to be on there. The main stage is building nice. Spoonie's
Yeah.
about to come on,
Yeah.
and she decides she wants main stage.
She had a diva moment.
But when I spoke to her backstage and kind of understood a little bit of it, and it did give me a moment where I can proudly say I jumped around on stage singing it with Dawn Penn. My dad would be like, "You did what?" Yes, bro, I did. Yeah. Anyway, but my point about that is that it stole the momentum away.
Yeah,
from,
it did.
I really felt that it did. And on day 2, put it this way, day 2 didn't need a second stage. There was acts on the second stage
Yeah.
that were incredible, that got 20 minutes in the woods with 6 people.
Yeah.
And I think, again, hindsight's a wonderful thing. My takeaway from that would be, it's just my takeaway, don't fucking listen to what I say. But I think if on day 2, that's not there, and the state, the art, you kind of condense, I think that would have made for a better experience on the second day is something I think. Look, you can't please everyone all the time.
And bearing in mind
Absolutely.
that's a new day as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're trying to.
But I think had the Dawn
But I
Penn
get what you're
incident,
saying.
had the Dawn Penn incident not happened, I don't think I'm thinking that way. But I visibly watched everybody go, not literally say "F this old woman," but the crowd went, and then they all go. And at the time, was it Sovereign?
Saxon
And
were
we're
on.
in Bedford, so of course everyone's going to go around there and start
Absolutely
winding up. And I think
smashing it.
Saxon was
I think
smashed
Spoonie
it.
suffered for that. Now,
He
but the
did,
next bit's the spanner in the works. It's controversial. This is my opinions only, but I'm going to say what I said. But I'm going to hit you with the good parts first. Dan the Man's energy was great. Well, Dan the Man was great as always.
Yep.
The twins are incredible with their energy.
Love them.
But I feel that maybe the entourage surrounding them shifted the energy backstage when they arrived. I just have to say that. Now, whether that's because they're stars, and that's, I understand that, but I did feel that for me, up to that point, and then the energy shifted a little bit. Did it affect the rest of it? Not really, but it was just an observation. That's all these are. They're just observations through my unique eyes. I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. But here's the real spanner in the works bit. You know me, I like pitting people against each other. And they're both crews and they're both full of DJs and do things. Vibin' Essentials were streets ahead.
Oh,
And the only difference between them and Vibin' Essentials is Vibin' Essentials never made 21 seconds. My third takeaway, the headlines. Mo Stack was incredible.
brilliant.
His team were incredible. And I think
Brilliant.
after what happened on with Spoonie and everything, the end needed that.
Yeah.
What happened with Spoonie?
So Spoonie, the crowd left because Dawn Penn had been on before, and they started to drift back for
Right,
Spoonie. I'm going to
okay,
get to
yeah,
Spoonie in
yeah.
a second. But Mo Stack was amazing. I found out afterwards he's autistic. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody knew that. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
His mum, I met his mum.
His mum
Me and his
came.
mum had the most proudest moment. We sat on the stage together, and I
Oh.
turned and I went, "Your mum, ain't ya?" She went, "Yeah." And Lily was lurking somewhere at the front of the crowd, and I went, "Her?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "I'm Dad." And we just shared this moment, and it was just like the set, which you probably had that moment when he was up there as well. But yeah, he was incredible, and also as a co-headline, so was Spoonie. Now I'm not gonna say who said this. I'm not gonna say who said this to me, but someone said to me they saw Spoonie at River Festival, and he literally phoned it in, like just was not interested.
Yeah.
Before this person said that to me, and what I witnessed was unbelievable. But not just him. There was moments, and that's what kind of made me feel like, you know what, if that Dawn Penn thing had happened and that crowd was there, because Cold Steppers had got that crowd.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people maybe understood it as much like us music aficionados would, but yeah, Spoonie was wicked. Big recognition to Denzi,
Yeah.
because that was a moment.
That really was a moment.
Onyx Stone's stage present was incredible.
Onyx
Maxwell
is-
D's performance of like even what's
Leanne.
Leanne from Sweet Female, like
Yeah.
Flowers. It was brilliant. The headlines were spot on. And then my final takeaway is about the Culture Festival itself. And I'm not gonna lie, in the lead up to it, in my mind, I had doubts and reservations. I thought after the very high bar that had been set in 2022 in terms of what it looked like on paper,
Yeah.
you would be forgiven for going, okay, they've scaled it back a little bit. And then I'm like, is 2 days possible? You know, is Mo Stack and Stack and Spoonie are very much demographically very different places. How's that all gonna, and then with my own involvement, let me tell you, there was some crippling self-doubts, mate, like for me, like, but the takeaway is it was unbelievable. And listening to what you lot did with 2022 and how you lot evolved that into this, it was just, it blew my mind. It really did. If I've got one little criticism about the festival itself, it's not about, it's the audience, but you can't interfere and control free will. And what I mean by that is you will have an incredible set from like someone like the She-J, who will do some serious shit.
He's incredible.
Oh, and Cold Step were just next level, and Spoonie with,
Super D and Cold Step shit.
and you know what get the biggest cheer of the weekend? Fucking Candy. If I saw, and by Sunday, if I saw Candy one more time, I was throwing Frenchie off the stage. I'm sorry, I fucking said it. But my final words are, it exceeded everybody's expectations, including mine, I think. And I think that you lot just deserve a massive round of applause for what you've pulled off. And that leads me lovely into my next question. What's the future?
Ooh, what's the future?
Oh, right, so let me ask some quick questions. Do we have another year? Is there another year? Are we back next year?
We are looking at next year.
Perfect. Look at Sonny. That's how you set them up. Now watch me knock them down. You ready for this? Oh, I didn't finish. I didn't do my honourable set. Hang on. 1 second. My best individual DJ set of the weekend.
Yeah.
Spoonie, I'll give an honourable mention. Super D, Jazzy B, She J, me, Fight Club, VE, especially DVS around 6 o'clock when he was dropping D&B. But the best set of the weekend was Sean Harvey, MC Kai, and a big shout to OJ who shot up there. To step into the shoes of Sparks with Kai takes balls, and he fucking smashed it. And I'm sorry
MC
publicly for not introducing you to the stage. I apologise, bro. Best live performance, honourable mentions. This might surprise a lot, yeah. Dawn Penn gets a mention. Omar, Mo Stack, Amy Winehouse Experience. She was mad. We loved her.
She was
EDH and Janin, J Sim gets a mention. Earth Tone, but the best live performance was for me was on Sunday.
Yeah, I know you're going to say.
Who am I going to say?
Oh, geez, on the tip of my tongue.
Kirsten Knight and the Bobcats.
Oh, okay.
She was the girl with the mad coloured extensions. I sat
yeah,
by the side.
the pink
I sat by the side. I introduced her.
I didn't get to see that.
Her dad was Clayton Stevens, and I introduced her to 4 people. One was her dad and stepmom, and I sat there and was like, and that's what made me go, why the fuck is she on this day? So she gets my best performance. And then finally, non-music related shout outs. Obviously you, Fiona. Obviously you, Blaze. And obviously you, Josie. Your sister as well, who walked past. He's always fucking hype, isn't he? Yeah, she walked past me at like 1 o'clock and I'm bouncing to no one like Tigger, right? Red Bull in hand. She's like, he's fucking hype, isn't he? Yeah.
And can I pick up my son over there as well, hiding in the corner?
I was getting
Say,
there.
I love you, D.
She does. 3 times she stole my thunder. I've got a little special thing for it. In fact, let's do it now. D's over here. He's not on camera. He probably doesn't want to be on there, but that's Josie's son. What's your brand called? The Vision Vault. Please, I'm going to link it in the description.
What's that, Garms, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's got a few pieces, bro.
Make sure you throw some over. We'll wear it on the next episode, yeah?
The next one. I need to cop some pieces. So big shout out to you, D. Your sister I've mentioned. What's Hayden's wife's name?
Rachel.
Legend. And Hayden.
Rachel and Hayden.
Hayden came up to me on a Sunday night, and I'm not going to repeat it because it will sound like I'm being big-headed again, but thank you, Hayden. I appreciate what you said to me, man. I actually, by that point, I was so gassed, I think I started crying to Son. I started crying to Son.
Do you actually breathe?
I think we all had a cry. All of us had a cry at some point over the weekend.
Charlie, Suzanne, and all the accreditation team.
Yeah.
The Samuel L. Jackson lookalike that bossed the stage
and
would not let anybody
UK
go.
Entertainments, please. Can we shout out them?
Shout them out. Throw them in if I've missed anyone.
Rachel, Josh, and Rich.
Jason De Silva.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Belmont Security,
Yeah.
like tip top.
Anyone else? Miss Jones Photography.
The jerk
Miss
chicken,
Jones
the food
photography.
man.
The food man, Chicken George.
Chicken
Karamba.
George.
Concept events.
Concept events all day long.
Very expensive, may I add?
What?
The food.
I mean, we
It's a
don't
festival.
set prices.
It's a festival.
Yeah, it's the vendors. We don't
It's a
set
festival.
prices.
Look, I don't want to rush through this, but because I'll
If
be here all
anyone would
night.
obviously like to sponsorship for next year, then please contact us.
That applies to the show as well. Now, I'm glad you mentioned next year.
Yeah.
There you go. Watch that. I'm about to knock them down. Get ready. Bear with me. I'm about to knock them down. So you mentioned the future of the festival. I did. And next year you're coming back, yeah?
Plan.
Okay.
Inshallah.
So a couple of things.
This
Sonny,
girl.
toss your hat into the ring because I'm about to do it. Me and Sonny Black have decided
Woo, it's a bit warm.
the next year.
Basically, he's decided.
The next year,
Got it.
we,
Right.
and when I say we mean Spanner in the Works podcast,
Spanner in the works.
would like to host Original Culture Festival.
That went a good look.
Okay.
We would like to host it as us.
You basically do, bro.
Nothing changes in terms of what we do, but there is a little
So
caveat
is this you and Sonny on stage instead of just you?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
there's another little caveat to it as well, though.
Right.
there is.
Well, we're not signing no contract
No,
yet,
no
but carry on.
We're talking money. You talk to my agency about that. I have got one now. Nearly. It's about to be signed. I would like a slightly later slot to DJ.
I knew it was coming.
Because that was the best set I've ever played in my life. And
Can I just say, you asked and you said, I'll do it. I'll do the early
I know
slot."
I did. I know I did. Of course I did. Listen, I'm a long-term visionary. I can't come to you and go, give me that 6 o'clock slot, bro. Because that's the length
You
of
wouldn't be the only one because it's literally, this is the other thing that we have dealing with doing this sort of event. Timings is everything,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
Kenny All-Star, doors open 1 o'clock. You're putting Kenny All-Star on at 4:30. You're thinking a festival, the amount of tickets that we've sold, you're thinking there's going to be more than enough people there to have as an audience for Kenny All-Star. It was hot, so people didn't come out until much later. So you cannot gauge anything. But then everybody wants a later slot. Everybody.
And that's why I did what I did. So there's a couple of levels to it, right? Someone had to do it. And you mentioned the local thing, right?
Yeah.
I think with that, local artists, sadly, don't want to go and perform in front of no one, but some of them fail to understand that you're going to have to if you want to elevate
At some
above the
point,
local, right?
It's a big stage.
Yeah.
For lots of these local artists, it's a massive, big thing to be able to perform on a stage.
How many
A big
local
stage.
artists did actually perform at the last event?
Who did we have? If you look
to
at
me, so the me,
locals,
Jet, what as in just on the first bit, or who was local across the whole thing?
Who was local across the whole thing?
oh gosh,
We had your friend, didn't we, at the beginning? Who did we?
Vibing.
As in
No,
we
no, no.
always
said
I'm
it
not
was
talking
you.
about DJs.
He's
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
artists.
singers and rappers, performers.
Only Janny, J and EDH. That was it. That was it. But that's all it could have taken.
Lippy as well.
Lippy,
Yeah,
Earth
Lippy,
Tone,
Earth
Earth Tone.
Tones,
I think
yeah.
that was about right. The previous year,
We had a lot
tried
more.
to flood it with a load of local.
Yeah.
And not only was it, look, nothing's really going to work at that time of day because it's that time of day,
Mhm.
right? So I don't think it really matters too much who was interested in it and who maybe wasn't at that point. You know, like Jen's set got cut short. With hindsight, I think doing that again, it didn't really matter whether his set went on longer or short because of the time of day that it is. And
Yeah.
I said that to you. But I think that the point I'm making is you as a local, that's what you're going to get. Build an
But
audience.
that's what we're trying to do, is
Yeah.
build. And we're
And that's
trying to
exactly-
build an
I'm talking from
event.
their
and a
point of
festival.
view.
Yeah.
You
To
lot
give
give
them the
them
opportunity.
the biggest
You
stage
lot
of
giving
the
a
big-
platform.
Platform,
If you,
yeah.
if you get a slot on a
But I
culture
don't think
festival,
people appreciate
no,
that.
but
They
why are you
don't
not bringing?
appreciate that.
Why are you not bringing 40 people to fill that first little front bit? And that's why when I came to you and said, "Let me do the first 2 hours," it was multifaceted. No one wants to do it.
And
I've had
also-
a festival
yeah.
approach me and ask me if I'll open their festival for no one. Off the back of that.
I think, and also what we got was a lot of people saying free tickets. And
Everyone
we're
wants
like,
free
do you
tickets.
realise how much work and money is involved
course
in
they
this? I
don't.
don't think they do. They come in and see
Yeah.
a stage, you see this, oh, that's pretty easy, but they don't see behind the scenes.
If anybody knew the budget
yeah.
for
I
OCF,
have a rough idea.
Yeah, but we
and-
won't be talking about
Yeah.
that.
we're not going to talk the
It's
money.
mind-blowing,
But
though.
what it's mind blowing. The
Mind-blowing.
amount
Yeah.
of money that we've put into this festival is
And
crazy.
not only that, and time as well.
And time.
And time.
I mean, my
From
time
our-
is
from
money.
our
Her-
jobs.
you
Yeah,
know,
from our other
Josie
work.
runs a business, so her time is money. I've got children and I work a full-time job.
Mm.
My time is money. You know, not just to me, but to the company that I work for.
and you get someone
It's
tapping
like,
your door
I'm
going, "Come
having
through,
free
boo."
tickets,
Yeah.
but buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket.
Early bird of
Buy a
what,
ticket.
£15?
Buy a ticket.
I think there were £20 this
Yeah,
year, the early
20.
birds.
I think I bought 2 people
The thing
tickets
is,
this year.
people won't buy a ticket for £15, but then they know every Tom, Dick and Harry's going on the day and pay £30.
And then moan
And then
about it.
moan about
Which
it.
is cool for you, which is cool for you. You're like, yeah, do that.
Yeah,
but
but the other thing is as well, again, you know, when I'm talking the budget for the festival, I mean as a whole,
Yeah.
right? The artist budget alone is tens of thousands of pounds.
yeah, of course it is.
So when people are saying, "Oh my God, £25 for a ticket," £25 for a ticket is cheap.
I don't want to.
Look at the
I don't
budget.
want to keep being
Yeah.
controversial and saying it, but
Yeah.
it's the Bedford
Mentality.
/ small town
What we
mentality.
brought to Bedford.
Yeah, see, if you go to London, you would pay
Yeah.
that. I'd pay £55, £60.
You pay £55, yeah.
More than that for a ticket to go to a festival.
Yeah.
Like,
Go see the same people.
To go and
Yeah.
see the
To
same
go see,
people.
to literally
Like
go
I
see the
said,
same.
And that's the thing, you know, for us. So obviously, Rowan's vision was original culture. The original culture, the name of it, came from his thing was all of the genres of music have their own original culture. You've got the original culture of jungle music, which
Which comes
you know,
from
which
hardcore,
comes
hardcore
from-
and breaks. That's where it comes
yeah,
from. Yeah.
with twists of you've got reggae in there as
Yeah,
well.
cool, man,
You've
massive,
got
like-
obviously the original culture of reggae music,
Yeah.
of dancehall music,
Which
of
the reggae,
house
which reggae music comes from rocksteady
right?
and ska.
There we could get into
See,
a
bro,
whole.
these are the conversations. I'm looking at them down the camera because I know they're the conversations that we have. Brother.
These are, like, it's those things that people, I mean, you and I would have conversations about this as well, the evolutions of the genres. And these are the things Rowan was like, that's the original culture of that genre there, that's the original culture of that genre there. Let's bring it all together because it evolves. You know, there's been an evolution through music, through all of the genres at one point. You know, when you go from jungle to D&B, D&B comes off the back of jungle. It's just evolved into something else.
Nothing's original. Listen to what's hot, which I don't really kind of know, but trust me, it's just the same shit, just
100%.
repackaged and
It's
recycled.
repackaged,
But
yeah.
and I think
Labelled a
Rowan
different way.
understood that. Now you mentioned the artist budget, so we're gonna wrap up shortly, but a couple things before we do.
Yeah.
I want to suggest a few acts.
we could actually go all night, but
Oh
I'm
no!
not going to. I'm
But
going to
you've got
stop now.
you've got the ADHD over here, man. It never shuts up. I took my meds late today as well because I woke up, so I'm going to be going on TikTok live till about 5 in the
And I
morning.
have to say to all the haters, there you go, we did it.
Go on.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
it.
wait, whoa!
We did
Do
it, we
again.
did it.
No, look at the camera and say it again.
There's your camera there, look.
To all the haters, we did it.
I did it. That's what I mean. See, entrepreneurship and
And we're going to do it again
strong
and
women.
again
Right.
and again and again.
So artist budget. Here's a few. I'm just going to throw them out there. But here's a few people that I would like to see at future culture festivals.
I want to
and
hear this
please,
from a lot
yeah.
of people. We
Right.
want suggestions.
We want
Ready?
We've done this
question out
before. We
there.
put it
Leave
on
it in the
social
comments.
media.
Leave it in the comments.
Leave
Put
it
it
in the comments. Yeah.
100%, because we want to know who you want to see. Who do you want us to
Bearing
bring
in
to
mind, no
Bedford?
Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy.
Okay, my first one, EZ. There's a headline for you. My second one,
Major.
and I think you'll like this, and I think you could pull this off. But I think it would draw as well. People would come from far.
But we've had people on our lineups that you think would come from far.
Corrupt FM.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
We've had a
we've
price.
already-
We've had a price.
20, I got quoted 25.
It's
I got quoted 25 for 3 of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are
Yeah,
25.
Yeah.
But I don't want 3 of them, I want all of them. Remember, they're going to send me Fantasy, Chabuddy and Steve. So I'm like, for 25 grand? I was like, I got 25 grand anyway, I was just curious.
I was gonna say,
But here's one. Now, this has happened in Bedford, right, individually. I would like it if you could get either, but you would break the internet if you got them both together.
Who are we talking?
Dizzy and Wade.
Listen.
That would be
It
You would
be
break
levels.
the internet if you got them back.
There's probably 3 or 4 or 5 people that could tell you, I've had this conversation. I would love to have Wiley on our stage. I would love it.
Do you trust him?
I need
That's
for him
the
to
thing.
turn
Can't
up.
trust
That's
him.
the thing.
Can't trust
I
him.
need for him to
exactly
turn
that.
up.
Sorry,
That's the
Bill, but
problem.
you can't. He's in Dubai anyway. He don't care. He blocked me on Twitter as well years ago. Okay, another one for you, Miss Dynamite.
Oh my!
Yes.
Can I say that's my girl? Like I'm a garage girl at heart. I mean, don't get me wrong, reggae
We had this-
is in my soul, but I'm a garage girl at heart. When Miss Dynamite came out, that female artist in the garage era. That's.
But
me.
do you know who else I think would work off the back of the whole culture thing you talk about and everything as well? Slightly different and certainly not popular music, but we've just mentioned the sister, so let's mention the brother, Carla.
Oh.
I don't think too many. You don't appeal to too many.
Yeah, that's the thing about it.
He's quite
and that's
He's
why. And
more
that's,
like-
and that's why.
spoken word though, isn't it?
No,
Like, speaking and
no.
stuff.
From a rap, but no, he would. But
I don't see him doing it much
But do
anymore.
you know where I see him in that bill? Do you know where I probably see him? I probably see him on a second stage.
Yeah.
In a smaller
Yeah.
thing. That's because I just love him. Like
Same.
if you ordered
You and I know.
a Carla on Timu, I'd turn up.
There's so many different artists that we can
See,
name.
I'm
But
not-
Yeah,
I'm
but no,
not-
but they're
I'm
like.
Those are
passionate.
yours.
I'm passionate about my town. Yeah.
Go on then.
So we need to put people on from our town. Now, is there anyone you guys can think that is worthy enough of touching that stage?
Like by next year, say next year. Is there anyone that you
Is
like
it, have
see?
you guys got anyone in mind, or do you look out for local artists? Are you all?
Yeah,
do you have
we
your
do,
ear to
but
the
you
ground?
Like even
You came to my thing, man. You literally booked loads of people off the back of that.
yeah. Well, it's very important to us. I think sometimes, like on social media and things like that, especially with a lot of the up and coming artists, they're in a lot of the younger age groups.
Yeah.
So I may not necessarily know them. This is where Blaze comes in, and other people that are coming and saying and letting us know, I mean, the whole Love Local thing and what Warren's done with his event that he had at Esquires and things, putting people on.
We wasn't called Love Local, by the way.
No, she said Love Local and
No, but I'm just putting it out there.
No, we were
that
TST. I
Love
was
Local
TST
was
rap.
taken from us, but given a brand new name. Am I saying that?
I don't know. Carry on.
That's not causing beef, is it?
No,
I don't know
carry on.
what-
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm just being honest.
I don't live in Bedford. You can even find me if you wanted to.
I'm just being honest. But yeah, I'm quite passionate. But and the other thing is, you Bedford artists, where's my camera? You guys need to up your game.
Up your
Get
game.
your fans, get your people
Yeah.
down, because these guys ain't going to book you if you can't even get 25, 30 people
Right,
together
right.
to come
Why
and see
would they
you.
want to
And the
book
other
you?
thing is, as well, when we're getting messages or emails, but mainly messages on social media, from up and coming artists going, yo, put me on the bill and I'll sell you some
Yeah,
tickets.
it's a joke, innit?
I can't take you serious.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah, there's no
business.
way.
Where's your
I'm a
electronic
business.
press kit? Where's your good or hi Fiona?
Right.
I'm writing as I'm a local artist from Bedford. Here's my press
Exactly
kit.
that.
I perform there. If you click that link there's my record. At the moment, I've only
Correct.
got 1,000
You've got to come
followers,
correct.
but I really want to kind of like build
Right.
it up. Can I perform at your festival,
Yeah.
please?
You have to come correct.
Or how about something for something?
It's not-
If you let me perform, I will guarantee I'll sell you 25 tickets and
Right.
build a brand. You know how that goes?
Yeah, 100%. But literally, when I tell you, the inbox could be full up. Running up to the festival, full up. Josie will tell you. Of
yeah.
things like that. Yo,
Yeah, but I'll tell
put
you
me
why.
on.
Because there's no direction for the artist. There's no nurturing the artist anymore. They don't know. They have to do this work themselves. Back in the day, You used to have management agents and people to be able to deal with this. Now you're on social media and you're just DMing, direct messaging.
But
So
it's not.
But it's still a way you can
I'm getting it. Yeah, I'm getting it.
It's how you
It's the
approach
approach.
it.
That's a choice. Like,
You've got to come
that's
correct.
a choice. If you don't have the ability to articulate to a person, guess what you need to go away and do? Fucking learn how to do
Right.
it.
Yeah,
So just a
100%.
If you
couple
can't
days
walk,
ago,
if you're a little kid, you learn how to
I'll
walk.
give
You
you a
stand
prime
up.
example. Just a couple of days ago, I saw an Instagram post on something, and it was, I don't know whether you guys have all seen it. It was like 3 or 4 kids, mainly Asian orientated, a couple of them white and black, kicking off with the cops on the train. Anyone saw that?
No.
And they were saying, get off the train, blah blah blah. I can show you guys after. And these kids were effing and blinding, and basically got escorted off train. So I left a comment. I hope I can find it quickly so I can read it out.
While he's finding that, because we're getting close to wrapping up, I just want to say thank you, like, to all 3 of you. Josie, it's really nice. Actually, I've known you for years.
Yeah, we've not really spoken.
We've
have we?
never, we've always
Not
had
really
that kind
spoken.
of hi, how are you sort
Shit.
of
It's
thing.
my sister though, isn't it?
Well,
You know
actually,
Laura
just
more.
she used to be my neighbour.
Yeah, that's right,
Well,
yeah.
it's a quick story. A couple of quick stories actually, because the one from earlier.
Neighbour.
That
I
was
lost
a quick flip.
the karaoke competition to
This guy.
Sophia.
That's where I thought you lived.
Yeah, just to add that. No, I
That's
used to,
why I thought you still
I
lived.
used to live next door to her. I love your sister. She showed me my first flat when I was 16 at Redwood Grove when she used to work for Desres.
Oh my God, Desres.
Taking it back.
Yeah, old elephant man over here. But no, I've always had a good relationship with her. Like, I love Laura to death. She was my
Yeah.
neighbour, but me and you never really kind of. It's been really nice to
I'll
get
be
to like.
always the shy one.
But it's nice to get to know. No, you know what? You scared me. You scared me a little bit, to be honest with you.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, you scared me a bit, innit? Like, shit, that's someone not to mess around with. But it's actually nice to get to know you, like, on that level. I salute you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Shout out your business, man, as well, if you want. You shout out your business, tell people what you do outside of festival.
Got a cleaning business, Clear Cleaning Commercial Limited.
There you
So
go.
yeah, want
There you-
any cleaning done, contact us.
And we'll link
New
it.
builds, schools.
We'll link it in the
Offices.
description. We'll link it in the description below. So if you do,
No
you
extra
can-
services.
you can hit it out. So no,
Anyway, before you interrupted me, back to my comment on the train station
go
with the
on.
kids there. So I wrote a comment saying, if you guys conducted yourself correctly and spoke in a manner where these guys, because they were like, we're under 16, we're under 16. So legally, the police should have a role in getting them home safely. Yeah. So they should have let them on the train. So I left a comment, literally a paragraph saying, if you man would have spoke properly, there's a time and a place. You guys need to learn how to evolve like a chameleon, adapt to your situation. So if you guys would have said, oh no, sorry, we need to get home, we lost ticket money, blah, blah, blah. Bruv, do you know how much hate I got
Of
from
course.
giving a positive?
Of course you did.
Some people said, yeah, you're correct. Most people did. But do you know how many kids attacked? You're soft, man. You're just like the rest of them. You're a sellout. You're a sellout. You probably work with the feds.
this is for another
Oh my
podcast,
gosh.
and we'll get into
And all I was trying to do is
Generations lost.
explain to the younger generation,
They're lost.
just come correct. Because
all
afterwards
it
you can
takes.
go
Yeah.
and do your whatever language and however
Yeah.
terminology you speak. But just for that minute, you could have got home safely. Now you're going to get kicked off the train, possibly arrested, if you guys carry on giving it the mouth. And that's what I was trying to say to the next generation. This guy here to my left is a perfect example of how to conduct yourself.
And to my left as well.
And
He's
to
off-
your-
and there's 2 to my left off camera that you can't see.
Yeah.
The thing is, we don't know what goes behind closed doors and what these
100.
guys get up to in their own time, because they can be your bumper clots, blood clots, or whatever later on. But the thing is, right now there's a situation and how you conduct yourself, and you have to adapt to your situation.
100%.
If you're sitting in front of your school teacher or your parents, you're going to act a certain way.
Yeah.
And I work in schools, yeah, and I see somehow kids act, and I'm like, whoa. And they never would act like that, because I don't know what it is. Maybe they could just see me coming, but the way I see some children treat their teachers, yeah.
It's
I
disgraceful.
know, yeah.
I
can imagine.
I was an arsehole at school. One of my teachers told me that when I saw him. He goes, you give me a really bad time. He couldn't believe that I was teaching in school. So yeah, man, it's just about conducting yourself. And if you guys need some direction, management, agent, we've said this before, hit me up. I will try and help you and guide you, man. Not a problem. I don't mind giving people future advice. It doesn't cost me a single penny to try and help man out, or ladies. But the thing is, you have to listen and understand where we're coming from. It can't just go in one ear and out the other. We're just trying to teach people life skills and show you how to get on. Because these days, the knife crime, the way the children, the direction they're heading is just mad. But then you've got examples like this young man, that young lady, and that young man. Which hairdressers do you work at, young man?
Damiano Hair on the High Street.
Big up Damiano Hair. Sponsorship, promotion packages available. We will big you up.
And you're the company director of what? Of where?
Southampton.
There you go.
Right. So see, there's things happening, and like there's ways to be learned. There's things to be learned here. But the major thing is, they wanna put you guys on, but you have
Absolutely,
to come
you've
correct.
got to come correct.
Correct, yeah, man.
Because it's like I said, the budget is big for a reason. We're a business. This is a business. We're not just putting on a little any dance in
just to
a little
do
small
it.
club just to do it. This is a huge event, and it means the absolute world to us because of what it is, what it represents, and who it represents.
That's what we said at the start.
So, if you want to be involved, amazing. Show us that you're talented. Show us that you're passionate. Show us that you want to take that next step up. But please, just come correct. Yo, put me on the bill. It's not coming correct. You've got to treat it as a profession. What you're doing is hopefully, with any luck, if you're talented enough, is going to be your profession.
Yeah, man.
In which case, you need to be professional. So you have to come correct.
And
You
and the thing is,
heard the lady.
You have to be put on. So imagine if you did come correct and you got that message across to these guys, and you guys were put on that stage. You don't know how many thousands of eyes, not just the audience, but the people behind the stage.
Yeah.
There's management, there's agents lurking,
Yeah.
there's parents, someone that can put you on.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to end
But
up
that
with.
first
who's
step
gonna
has
put
to
you
come
on.
from that person.
Also,
themselves,
can I
doesn't it?
just quickly
Wait,
interrupt?
wait. What I was gonna say, yeah. You know how you're on about how they message saying yo and that. It's not even that hard. You got AI nowadays to do it for you as well.
Literally.
See?
There you
There you
go.
go.
And that's what, and that's why he runs his own business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we's that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But do you know what it is? It's usually the kids that aren't ghetto that want to be ghetto. Just my personal
Yeah,
Just-
no,
experience.
that's
yeah,
very
trying
true.
to
And-
fit
and-
in.
Just from
yeah,
my
yeah,
personal
yeah.
Trying to fit in, yeah.
So look.
Also, can I just quickly say,
yeah, sorry,
I
go on.
forgot before I forget, can I just say massive thank you
To Onyx
to-
Events, thank you very much.
Can I say
Yeah.
massive thank you
He's
to...
trolling.
Can I finish,
Sorry,
please? To Good Acres as well for our for the
Yeah.
sponsorship, and
And
DTM
DTM
as well for
Yeah. I mean,
sponsoring us.
Any level of sponsorship that we received, from small to big, you know, Good Acres was our main sponsor alongside
If you're
DTM.
looking for a place, go Good Acres.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's
Good Acres.
DTM?
Digital Tax Matters.
Right, okay. It sounded like, okay.
I know what you was gonna say. You said it sounds like DMT. Innit?
Yeah, bruv.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
forgot
I
the
think.
camera.
DMT.
Yeah, our sponsors.
Mate, I saw Brown and French's set on the second day. Someone was
Lord.
busting DMT on that.
Can we just
day
get
for
back
that
to our
set, mate.
sponsors? I know you want to...
Sorry.
Yeah, so big thank you to our sponsors, you know, from small to big. All of it's appreciated. Obviously, anybody that wants to sponsor the next event, you know, everything's appreciated. And we
just want to grow and grow,
We want to
don't
grow,
we?
and we want to make it the best event possible for Bedford, because we don't think Bedford has much of what we're offering.
I agree.
And I think it's really important because there's people like us that don't want to go to proms in the park and listen to that kind of
Yeah, for
music
real.
because it's
No,
not
for real,
what
for
we
real,
like.
for real.
I'll tell you
So-
what we want to get to. We want to get in proms in the park.
What you mean size-wise?
As in Original Culture Festival in proms in the... Imagine how many people that they allowed in proms in the park.
I think it's 15,
think it's
16,000.
15,000.
Right. Imagine like getting to that
You don't
level.
realise how big
proms
that
in the
park is,
park,
do
if you're
you?
listening, support these ladies, this young gentleman and all the Original Culture Festival crew. Help them get into proms in the park, aka Hayden Concept Events. Help them.
He's such a rogue. He just goes off. Sonny, I love you, man.
It's such a what?
Like a rogue. You just go off script, like just. But it's beautiful.
I'm
That's
just
a
allowed-
compliment.
You gave me time to talk.
It's
so
a compliment.
Who else was there?
I know,
Someone
listen.
I
else?
don't get much time to talk.
You asked me to lead this, and I think I've been quite
you
respectful.
I think we're
actually.
jumping from conversation to...
But yeah, I
That's
also
the
want
one.
to a huge mention. I know we've mentioned them briefly, but a huge mention is concept events, because concept
Big up
events
Hayden.
are infrastructure. That's concept events.
It was amazing as well.
It-
The
I
infrastructure
I don't
was
think anyone
wicked.
realises their
Nobody
team.
realises
Yeah.
they have got the most super team.
Mate.
You know, Hayden Hammond, we absolutely adore you. Like, he's become like family to us. His wife Rachel and his whole team, they're just so supportive. They're great at their job. Everything
Really,
they do,
yeah,
they
they are
can,
good.
you know, from staging to sound systems, PA systems, fencing, toilets.
You just mentioned the sound system. I don't think that gets enough credit yet. That sound system was unbelievable.
Are we
man.
talking main stage or
Main stage.
yeah, main stage? The sound system, I mean, their equipment is second to
Incredible.
none. And, you know, they deal with events from festivals
Yeah, I was talking
to
to a couple-
weddings
I was
to
talking to a couple, yeah, they were
parties.
telling
You
me
know, they
some
do
mad-
everything.
Mad places. they've
So,
opened up. I guess you'll be using them next year as well.
100%, yeah. We'll be
Yeah,
working
they're
with
with us,
them.
yeah.
And obviously we worked with them very closely on the Sunday alongside Onyx Events. Mr. Sonny, we do love you.
Thank you.
You saved the day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Actually,
You
can
did
I just
save the
say,
day
on the Sunday
Sunday.
as well, like, Lil's behind me here, yeah, like, for reasons that, you know, we won't talk about on camera,
Yeah.
but, like, it was falling and she helped. Did she help you?
Thank
help him with
you.
that? I swear you helped him. Someone said to me somewhere that you've done a good job. Maybe I dreamt that.
Just take it.
Just take it. But listen, look.
I'll tell you who did. Leon's friend, bald guy, short Italian guy.
Yeah, he was
very frustrated. Yeah, he helped.
We could sit here
big
all
up the
night.
whole
But
of the Onyx events team.
There's one more thing I want to do. I've been dying to do this, so we're going to do a little section. We have literally jacked it.
We got to wrap this up, mate.
We're wrapping it up from Drink Champs, right? So I'm going to list some things. One of two things. All you got to do is tell us which one. If you can't tell us which one, you owe our charity a £5, right? Are you ready? Okay.
£5?
Yeah, £5 each, mate.
Well, I like that. It used to be £1.
Right. Mate, they said they got a big budget. What do you want me to do?
Right, let's go.
All right, ready?
Go on.
Well,
Plaza.
ask him individually.
No, anyone can pop pipe up.
No, because then the £5's not going to come, is it? You've got to ask him individually.
So we'll pay that anyway, right?
It's called
do it
this
in
or
turns.
that. This or all right, you're doing turns to get through. This or that. Josie, I'll start with you.
Go on.
Plaza or Matt's place?
Matt's place.
All right, cool.
Old school, ain't ya?
Old
Matt's
school.
place.
Yeah.
All day long.
All right.
Plaza.
Red stripe.
I got one for you. No, you
See?
doing the same question.
No, it's got to be
Plaza.
different questions. So
Plaza.
that's a £5. They do two different answers.
curious.
You can't answer that.
You can't answer. All right, next question. Next question.
Before it's time.
Next question. I'll ask Fiona first. If you guys want to chime in, you can. Bedford or Luton?
Bedford.
That was easy,
That
wasn't
was
it?
a rubbish one.
They're just questions. It's this
town,
or that.
No, it's got to be like, for you, reggae or bashment.
Reggae.
Okay.
Oh.
For you, garage or R&B. See?
R&B.
This is top of my head.
Say R&B.
No, they're not top of your
got them
head.
written
Top of your
down.
head on the fucking list in front of me. Top of your head.
This is the top of my head.
Are you talking?
You got them written
See,
down,
for me-
bro.
You have to choose one.
Okay, but if we're talking back in the day, I would say Luton over Bedford back in the day. Legends and all that.
See, they're not. There you go. Everybody's gonna have a different answer. But here's one.
No,
Here's a
yeah.
spanner in the works. Are you ready?
Ooh, love it.
I mean, we know what your answer's going to be, but I'm still going to ask the question for controversy. Friendship? No, I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
that's the third time.
It's a joke.
Let's.
Leave it. Karumba or Gems?
No, that's the third time.
Family war.
I know.
And let's sort this out.
Right.
I said that day at Culture Festival, everyone knows him and Frenchie do not get on for some reason.
Yeah.
And I said to him, bruv, for that day, let's be men and just go about our business and do
Yeah.
it.
Which I did.
Yeah?
Professional.
And he did.
Yeah.
Which I
But
did.
still to this very day, I'd like to see that little bit more commitment from each other. I don't know, it may not happen, but you see me,
I don't even know the
What's
best
he going on
story.
about? We're doing
I
a
don't
section
know.
called this and that, and you're
like
talking
that.
about an irrelevant
No,
guy.
whoa,
Let's move on.
I like
I
bringing
don't know
people
the story.
together. I like people
Right.
bringing
Anyway,
together.
this or that.
Sure.
Anyway, this or that.
Wait, before you move on,
Go
yeah.
on.
Let me tell you, life is too short for falling out.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
up with him. Life is too short. It's probably something so pathetic from time ago.
No,
you
just-
showed you could do
Thank
it on
you.
that day.
I
innit?
appreciate it. No, I just ignored him.
That's
That's
what
what
you
he told me.
told me.
I just ignored him. I didn't do anything.
Well,
I reached out to him in 2022 and I brought him up to the stage and I got the pass when people go, what's he doing up there, yeah?
Oh, you're the reason
Not
why there
brought
was
him up.
someone up there with the wrong wristband on my stage.
That's not quite what I meant. What
Right.
I meant was I buried the hatchet then and it's back. We're not doing that now. We'll do it another time. You can join me on TikTok live later and I'll talk about it in great detail. Dave or Stormzy?
Ooh, Dave. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Adele or Amy Winehouse?
Adele for me.
Can you answer it? If you can't, you
Amy
answer.
Winehouse.
Yeah, see?
Okay. You got Adele.
I've gone Adele, yeah.
Okay. Saxon Sound of Sovereign Roadshow.
Oh, you are taking the
Yeah,
mick.
yeah, I can't answer that.
Ah,
You both answered
let me pay
fiver.
mine. Let me pay mine.
That's a tenner for mine. There you go. Okay. Royal Family or a Republic?
Republic all day long.
Yeah.
I'm Irish. What?
Big up my Irish people then, yeah? I'm
love
with you on that,
Italian.
mate. With you that all the way. World peace or full equality?
Don't answer.
World peace.
Full
Yeah,
equality,
with
meaning
world-
what?
I
World
think
peace.
full equality would come with world peace.
No,
so world peace.
no, you can only choose one. So the options are this.
World
The world never
peace.
goes to war,
Yeah.
or everybody's equal, but wars still exist. Or if we have no war,
But how could
inequality
war-
still
How
exists.
could
No, but
war
it's nothing.
exist if we were all equal?
It's my show, I ask the question, you just answer.
Yeah, exactly. There
Or you
you
put a
go.
fiver in the bin.
No, you should put a $5 for that reversal.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's not Uno.
How-
We're not playing
Uno.
Uno. No one's playing Uno, bro.
You just done
Alright, how
a
about
world
I put
wrestling
£5
reversal
in
on
the
you.
pot, but
Yeah.
you got to answer how
Okay.
war exists. If we're all equal.
I can't. There you go. You stumped me. You've thrown a spanner in the
Yeah.
works on
You
this
gotta
one.
put a
Yeah, I've got to
fiver
put a
in as well,
fiver in.
man.
Well,
There you
you outfoxed me. All right, 2 to go. 2 to go. This one should be quite easy. The Pad or Esquires? The Pad was banging back in there. I'm not asking my opinion.
Esquires. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's the same people. I love Gareth and I love Kevin. I honestly have the utmost respect for both of them. But yeah, Esquires.
Big up,
Yeah.
big, up,
Esquires.
big up Gareth. He doesn't get enough.
Yeah,
Gareth
credit
and
for what he
Kevin.
does. He kills it in Bedford as well.
Yeah, he really does. Like he
Gareth's
puts
the guy
on.
that runs Esquires.
It may not be a lot of the genres that I listen to, but even then, he reached
His
that.
work
He
rate's
goes
crazy. And and you talk about musical knowledge and depth of musical knowledge.
crazy
Gareth
knowledge.
is,
Yeah.
And you know,
Gareth's
he's
the
a
guy.
massive hip hop head.
Yeah,
Yeah, massive.
Yeah.
We should have him on.
Been there. We should have.
Yeah, you should. You should
All
definitely have him on.
Final this to that question of episode 4. Before I do, I just want to say, look, we say it a lot, right? This podcast's about celebrating people who deserve to be celebrated, and that does mean people from this town. Definitely, I'm not a Bedford hater. I just hate Bedford. But you've definitely like gone way beyond fucking the Bedford mentality, which I think is something that you guys don't have in the first place. To be honest with you, because I think if you have it, you're not sat here. But not only do I think that you guys are incredibly pioneering in what you've done. Incredibly brave to come on here and sit and tell that story, and to suffer grief is one thing. To suffer grief so publicly, I'm gonna cry, is equally as incredible, humble. You've given us something that we can all be proud of here in Bedford. I think your story is one that will inspire many people for many years to come, and prove the mantra that great people will live forever. Rest in peace to you, my bro, and a big round of applause to Original Culture Festival. Wait.
Thank you.
One final
warm
this
in
or that
here.
question.
I'm sweating.
Are you ready? You
Yeah,
have to
we are.
answer. There's no £5 option.
Oh Lord, go on.
Go on.
Tiz or Sunny Black?
What kind of question's that?
Spanner in the works.
that?
Back to the works.
Well, that's easy, isn't it? They're going to say me. Done. Thank you. Tune in next episode. See you soon. Pow.
Get him to go back and retrospectively host your first 3 festivals. Yeah, we'll have that conversation. Now, after this, that was a joke. I'm just saying, look, we are going to wrap up, but thank you very much for coming in, and we really
Big up,
appreciate you.
ladies.
No, thank you.
Big up to
Thank
you, Sonny. Big up to everyone
you.
else in the building.
Thank
Big up
you.
Spanner in the
JG
Works
Visuals.
podcast.
JG Visuals.
JG Visuals.
Mac
Episode 4's
Studios.
done. We did it. We fucking did it. See you next episode. Peace out. Like, subscribe, mash the button, and I am on TikTok. TST Tiz. Come join the team TST.
And big up the sponsor W2 Barbers.